fucking. Alrighty. Eating some snack. And doing the tier list. I don't know how to do this exactly, precisely, whatever. I know you like what we're doing right now. I'm trying to keep that right for you. New Mad Twins uploaded a compilation of their best beatbox shorts just a day ago. Let's watch it. I didn't even know about this. I was just thinking about them and then, you know, looked them up and this is what came up. Coincidence. Go. Put on some Mad Twins.
Yo, bro, you do it like go. Hey Sonus, can you show me some bass line?
Sure. Let's do it. Bring the bass. Yeah. Sound system. All in with the bass. Keep killing that. Keep killing that. Bass. Stepping into moment.
I wanna steal you. You look at me, I have a plan. Sometimes you give me, but I'm start to make a sky. You check his charges. That's why I wanna
This is Jammer.
Powered by Supra.
Put like tank here maybe. I hate how you have to like do the plus when you know, when you first, when it's an empty set.
Good.
Axe doesn't even have good strength gain. That's the thing. Oh, his starting HP is good though. But yeah, his strength gain is pretty bad. He's got a good facet though that comes with the hero model. That will be assessed later. But I'm just trying to get everything roughly sorted out. We're gonna do one pass, and it doesn't need to be perfect. That was a good hero model. Something that also has to be considered when the hero model is in the pool is that their abilities will be in the pool, right? That is considered, obviously.
Bro, do you know this? Watch me work it. I'm perfect.
Starting armor is so good, I might put him in tank. I don't know.
Watch me work it. I'm perfect. Yo, bro, I need a bass line.
Bass hunt.
PP is good for ranged.
Where are my childhood? My rider passion.
I'm not gonna look at anything. This is just like a first pass.
Now we need the nagri.
But you shut up twice. Is Backstreet Boys or something? I swear that was Backstreet Boys or something. He's definitely tank, because Nate supports that, right?
100 hertz in my meat. Check my fence beat. Go.
His mage HP is high. His Nate it just doesn't even Animal's Realm doesn't even work in AD because it takes up a D or F slot. Even though it's a passive, the fact that it takes up a slot in the ability, like icon, yeah. Like maybe they should make Admiral's Realm more like Drowsinate, or exist as a status effect icon above the hero, and not as an actual ability. It takes up an ability icon slot.
Bro,
but
I have an idea for next reel.
That'd make Kuka way better.
Let's do it.
I'm not entirely sure if this is even ranged. It is though. 350 is pretty bad, but it goes to 425 with this talent, which makes it a little bit above 1 star. Luna's a fucking... Don't consider Luna a range. She's a melee. She's a pretty good melee, but she's a melee to me, in my eyes. His attack range is just way too low. Is why. Like the bottom end is like 400. Like 400 is the bottom end, and I forgot what I was gonna say. In order to be considered a range true at all, I think you just need to hit that minimum 400. Talent's considered also, which is why I include Morphling in that. He's a tier 1. There's just things that make Morphling better in my eyes too. I mean, his movement speed's worse though. That is an issue. And it's worse by a factor of like 40 movement speed, which is an entire boots. So I guess, you know, if you value a boot's worth of movement speed over how much attack range? 25 20%, 95 attack range, then pick Luna. But the thing is, his innate also makes him, I don't know. Morphling is just better. Morphling is just better in my eyes. What are Luna talents? Any generic ones? No, they're all relevant to her abilities. Whereas Morphling, I think he's fit out with like 4 generic ones. So he gets a free cloak. Or he gets a cloak on his talents. It's not free, you have to get levels. Attack range. Agility, 15 agility, you just get that. On top of the innate agilities. So you get a lot of agility, you know, it's Morphling. Very, very good, strong model. A lot of good stuff contained in it. And, and if you have mobility problems, just get the waveform. It's inside. It's inside the like it comes with the hero model. You have a mobility option in the draft. It's present in the draft if you need it. And then you can use ebb on it too. If you want to like right click inside of it. I mean if you have no other facet, take it, but yeah. It's not that good of a facet. It just adds like half of a right click to your queue. What even is this category? Houseguard is 100% a caster hero model. Darkseid's not ranged. Why is he in here? Undying is really good, by the way. Look at that int gain in the mana pool too. He has high mana cost, and his int gain reflects that. So you can use him as a caster. And then also have solid strength. Move speed's okay. He's a melee, so he gets the innate damage block stout shield thingy. This doesn't exist in 80, unfortunately, but whatever. Doesn't matter. It didn't exist, and in the past either. That they added that with the invention of innates. I really don't know what this category is. Everything is going. Everything is going to ultimately end up in 3 buckets, though: ranged, caster, or tank. Or we can go generalist. Also, okay, that's the category then. Generalist. Or maybe you should put this tank, caster. Go through the like combinations. I think I should put melee right click here. Just melee right click, because I think range can be broken down into right click and melee right click. And then you can sort of combine the tank and caster class. But I don't think there's necessarily... And right clicker already goes into the ranged. Because they're good because they're ranged. All the int heroes are ranged and all the strength heroes are melee. With exceptions with Darkseer and Phoenix. I need to find those right now actually. Let's find those. Phoenix is actually a terrible caster. Terrible caster and terrible, you do get Dialing Light. I think you do get Dialing Light attached to the hero model though, which is... This is a tank then. This is a tank for sure. Being ranged is a bad thing as a tank though, because then you miss out on the... I mean, is it though? Is it that bad? If you still have good strength gain, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not so bad. By the way, I had a guy who's like, he was playing Phoenix in a game. I fucking hate this. I hate solo queue. A guy was playing Phoenix, like, oh, I have the same attack damage as you. No, you don't. I have 47. You have what? What's the average between these? 44. Actually, is it that bad? Is it the same? Let me do the math on here. 49. 49 is pretty bad. Okay. I mean, he may have been right. It was like 2 damage off from being as bad as mine, but he has a bigger range. He has a bigger range, so he has a bigger possibility to hit higher because he has 54 damage range. The difference between 54 and 47 is pretty big. I think it's pretty big. Okay, maybe he was right, but I don't know. Definitely one of the best tanks, Tusk. We already rated Underlord. Invoker. He has a lot of int. He's a caster, for sure. He is a caster. Invoker is one of those heroes where you can't reliably like get something out of your abilities in the draft because it changes, right? Same thing with Kaz. Alright, Lich is a caster. His innate is weird, by the way, right? No passive regen. Things have to die for you to mana regen. This is why I hate liches who don't participate in the lane. Like, you just have to if you want to keep getting mana. Yeah, these items do nothing. What a weird innate. Oh, his base HP is pretty good, actually. Armor is on the lower side, for sure. Low armor, but his starting HP is not bad. 560 is a little bit on the higher end, I think. Let's look at AA, by the way. Maybe it's not. Why is... Did it say 660 or 560? Okay, I thought it said 660 for some reason. I was like, what? $500's like pretty low though. That's like an extra right click off from dying. Put him against range, but she's a pretty bad ranged in my opinion. That 2 base attack time is pretty bad. But that innate's really good. Like 35% dodge chance. Except it's not even dodge, it's just... You can't pierce through it. Like, if she's near trees and you try to hit her... She's actually like a really good durable... like hero. Huh? Oh, your E has to be active? Oh, the tree search radius, maybe. Maybe MKB is actually piercing it. I don't think so. Whoops. Yeah, this is a really good like ability. Stand near trees and evade. Let's see. It actually is coded as evasion. It actually is, I think. Okay, it is coded as evasion. So if they have evasion piercing, they will go through this. Most people won't know this though. And it's good to have that on a hero model and be ranged. Of course, the downside is 2 base attack times pretty bad. But they try to make up for it a bit by giving you agility, which, you know, gives you good armor gain per level. Her armor gain per level is good. Her max HP is, you know, it's bad. It's bad. Strength gain is bad too. But the innate, the high agi game, base attack time sucks. But range is so valuable that you're willing to accept these things and be okay with it. It's fine. It's not intolerable. You definitely belong in melee right click. He has one of the worst strength gains in the game though, unfortunately. I think he's actually tank. You're not affect yourself with it though. If you get Ions and Splitting Image and build tank, like you can spawn a bunch of stuff. I think a lot of his hero model just obviously it complements being a tank. That's just what it does, you know. You get this movement speed aura, it's like Omni Knight, but it's a little bit. It's a little bit stronger. I guess it's not stronger than Omni Knights. It's weaker actually. But the influence of like the aura influence is a bit higher. He's definitely fit to be like a tanky aura guy. And I think he has black hole talents too, maybe? Yeah, black hole DPS. Strength gain's on the lower side. A little bit on the lower side. Not too shabby though. Like 0.2 off from being 2.7. I think 2.7 is like the baseline. And then you make up for it with the 15 talent every time. Eidolons. Eidolons is a good ability. What is Puck, by the way? What is Puck? What is Puck? I don't find Puck to be that good. I've tried using it as a right-click model before. Below average attack damage. Agi gains pretty, you know, on the lower side. High int game. This is a caster. This is a caster. Like, there's worse Agi gains out there, right? Obviously. There's worse Agi gains, but... If you're below 2.7 and you're not making up for it in a significant way, you're not a right clicker. You're not good for right clicking. PA. PA's blur does not exist in AD. Despite it taking up the E slot. I guess that would have made sense if it would replace your E ability. So they got this kind of backwards. Immaterial should be your innate. Blur should be your ability. I don't know. This is just a part of like the lazy implementation they did. It's either of these don't exist in 1x, not 1x6, AD. These don't exist in AD. Immaterial and Blur. It gets replaced with a random ability. But her being in the draft means there's Phantom Strike. She's got a good 20 Phantom Strike talent. She's got a 10. A 10 and a 20. Her agi gain's on the higher side. You're looking for you're just looking for better Phantom Strike stuff. Right. That's what's happening. I'll put to be sorted. PL. P on the pool means juxtaposes in the pool. And you're looking for other stuff. But presuming someone else takes the juxtapose, like what are you? Is PL good as a hero model? The stat gains across the board are bad. The average agility is average though. But this is because he's PL, obviously. He's balanced around his abilities being powerful. Okay. Okay, I need to stop looking at the heroes. I just need to go on however I feel without, like, looking. I gotta put them into the buckets first. He's got a good innate. Lifesteal innate. He's a melee right clicker for sure. Rubik is a caster. Spectre's a pretty bad model. I think he's tanky. I don't know. Definitely tank. Jeez, melee right click for sure. I mean, we'll sort it out. We'll sort it out. Tank. Tank. Some heroes you just want to get because you already have the talent. You just want to draft them for talents. When it comes to hero model drafting, you're on the lookout for talents. You're on the lookout for, you know, the three categories: tank, caster, right click. And if it's none of those things, then you look for talents, right? And then the facets and innates, of course, are relevant. But if nothing else, you try to fit them in these three categories. If nothing else, facets not relevant, innates not relevant. What else is not relevant? Facets, innates, talents are not relevant. Then it comes down to these three categories: right click, caster, tank. Excuse me. And movement speed. Movement speed. Everyone enjoys movement speed. So if you don't care about anything, then you just want to be tanky. You want to be able to press your spells. A lot of the times you're going to want to be melee, because if you're not right clicking in a considerable amount, then you just want the melee innate block and higher base damage from Quelling Blade to be able to last it in the lane. Like, being melee is preferable in lane usually, because you get the built-in stout shield. But there's trade-offs to be made, obviously. Slark. Is he tank? He has a notable innate or facet. Anyone with notable innates or facets need to be put in to be sorted because those outweigh the other categories a considerable amount. Since he has a notable innate, I'll put him in to be sorted. Same thing with Warlock. Mars has a ranged Agi, that makes her good. Mars is tanky, he has an innate, that makes him tanky. Caster. Visage models, pretty bad. Why would you draft him, actually? His int game's nice, I suppose. Would be the reason. 3 int game. Almost. Is this starting mana pool good? I don't know, by the way. Let's open up Notepad and see. I have it on a notepad. Let's level 1 mana values. He's like a 3-star. 339 mana is... It's actually closer to a 4-star. Yeah, he has good mana. Edge gain's terrible though. Strength gain's good too. Starting HP is good too. It's like a 4-star. Oh no, it's a 3-star. 600 HP is the 3-star. If you're at 600 HP, you're up at mid-level of HP. Yeah. Caster. 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 Melee right click because he has a really good facet. Range. Melee right click. IO is, I don't know. Magic gain's bad. Attack range is okay. Strength gain's good. Throwing HP is bad. Intelligence is serviceable. Which is innate. He regenerates from consumables 2x faster. Okay. Starting armor is a little bit below average. But that base damage is really low. It's not really... Is it really? Yeah, it is really low. It is really low. It's near... It's with techies, almost. Techies has like 47. I has 40. His base damage is so low. Okay. His ET melee right click, we'll put him at to be sorted. Alright, this is what we got here. This is what we got. To be sorted. Let's enlarge the to be sorted category. Okay, I'm done. I'm done snacking. That's too... We're done here. It's too much snacking. Okay. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Sorry for the mouse sounds. I'm just eating. It's in the title. In my book, this is an S tier hero. Adjugate's pretty bad. You have good caster stats. Your armor is above average. Your base damage is okay. Above average move speed. Serviceable attack range. Like middle of the pack attack range, right? And let's see how he works in Well, let me see this. Let me see this, actually. It's my last Tinker game. It's Illusion 1. Excuse me. I don't remember having Warp Flare or... yeah, I don't remember having a Warp Flare. I think it's attached to, what? The beam, or... I don't know what it's attached to. What is Warp Flare attached to? You bought a shard. Only he did. Now's where we need to pull open HDV. Need to pull open HDV because yeah, need to test stuff. Just naively though, I will sort Tinker into S because I think his innate is very valuable. That innate is incredibly valuable. Doesn't matter who you're playing. Getting lower item cooldowns is powerful. I don't even like S. Oh, what are we? Tinker. Okay. I'm gonna make sure he doesn't show up twice in the list. Rename this to A. I don't like when people make S tiers. So I'm gonna put it as A. And it's hard to put him in S because a lot of the game is not dependent on the hero model, right? Whereas in regular Dota 2 it is. So nothing is really S. The abilities are S. The abilities of Dota 2 are S, not really the hero models, I would say, because it's just not. It doesn't reveal that much information about your draft. As much as you would, hope it. Not enough to put an S, right? Not enough to put an S. So A. Elder Titan. That's a weird. That's a cool name. It's global. You always get value, but it's not. It's whatever. Momentum is a part of the hero model. So what this does is essentially starts you off with a minus 75. What's 25% of 10 of 5? It doesn't matter. Like 75 minus 75 attack speed. And the moment you get like a windlace, you're back up to positive, or boots. But his movement speed also grants attack speed, so this is just free attack speed on a facet, which is nice. I don't think that makes up for the poor Agi gain though. He has 700 starting HP. That's really good. So yeah, he is a tank. Good strength gain. Good starting HP. Starting mana pool is what? His starting mana pool is, based on my system, 350 is exactly a 4-star. So he has 4-star mana. His int gain's pretty bad though, so he's not gonna get that much more int gain over time. Which is why when you play ET, you can like press your abilities at the start, right? You can press them, but it doesn't get solved through levels because the int gain's pretty bad, and you continue to feel the mana issues when you play regular ET. Anyways, he's a tank. Warlock. Fatal Bonds, Shadow Word. Let's see, Upheaval. You want to just look for frequencies, because if you can pick one ability and it pops up 4 times in the talents, then you're going to want to associate that. Whereas, excuse me, I forgot what I was going to say. Let's see, Upheaval shows up 3 times. Radius, attack speed, damage. Does that mean you want to draft Upheaval when you play Warlock though? I don't know. It's like it's an ability where you gotta stand still. They've buffed it a lot, but I don't know if it's even worth drafting an ability draft. This innate has some busted interactions though. Agility gain's terrible. With strength gain is a little bit below average, but your starting HP is, it's middle of the pack. It's not low, so it's not like you start with low HP and your strength gain is also low at the same time. You have okay starting HP. Armor is a bit below average, but that's, I don't know, that's sort of expected of these sort of support heroes. It has okay attack range, 600. You can click people down in the lane. Your starting damage is 57. That's actually pretty good, isn't it? 57 attack damage is pretty good. Starting attack damage. Level 1 attack damage, let's see. Yeah, it's like it's middle of the pack. It's middle of the pack, 57. Some other heroes might be low. His is just middle of the pack. So 57 is good. And the fact that you're ranged and you can get to click people in lane makes it even better. But agility gain's a big problem. Starting attack speed is very low. Agility gain is very low. Starting agility is very low. So your attack speed is really bad on Warlock. Which I guess balances out the fact that your base damage isn't the worst. Sort of like Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman has a shit ton of attack damage for some reason. So where do I put him? Where would I put him? I would put him in the... I'd put him in the tier that becomes very powerful if you can get the innate to work. Which there's a lot of ways to get it to work. So, and golems can be very OP. So I'm gonna put him in the... I'm already ready to put him in his own tier. I'm not even gonna put him in the bucket because his innate matters. And I'm gonna put it in B. I don't think it's A, but I think it's B. You can't consistently get it off. You're gonna have to look for it in the draft. But when it hits, it hits. It hits. It fucking hits when it hits. Slark with the Barracuda. Very powerful innate. And I mean, what are you giving up? What are you giving up to pick Slark? His stat gains are all terrible across the board. That's just how Slark works. Let's see. Starting attack speed is very high. Starting attack speed starts quite high. But agility gain sucks. Strength gain sucks. Gain sucks. He sucks all around the board. So if we were to attempt to put him in the 3 buckets of like what makes a good hero in the other 3 categories good, he lacks it, and that's to balance out Essence Shift, obviously, right? When you see him in the draft, people are gonna first pick Essence Shift. They love this ability, but his innate is really fucking good. It's really fucking good. This is attached to the W. This is attached to. Wait, hold up. Is this attached to the hero model? I've never known this. Lingers after being revealed if he's not near allied heroes. Slark's attacks reduce the target's armor while Slark is under the effects of Barracuda for a tiny little bit. A little bit of 2 linger, a little bit of tiny bit armor reductions when you come out. And what is this? Why does this even exist? Because in a vast majority of cases, you want Leeching Leash. You don't want this. This is for like support Slark, I guess. Let me see if it exists in the... excuse me. Let's see if this exists in the... Let me see if this exists in the Tingy. Open Dota 2. Let me see if this exists in the Tingy, in the draft screen. I'm gonna continue snacking actually. We snack-a-rooney. More snack-a-roonies. Custom lobby. Create. Start game. Alright. It does exist. Barracuda is powerful. And I think it complements most a tank build. So he's a specialized tanker. We're gonna put him in here. I wanna rate him relatively to the other tanks. So I'm not gonna actually rate him yet. He's also just good as like a support for like providing vision on the map. Like it's crazy good being able to use Barracuda to de-ward and be a frontliner. Yeah, so where does Void Spirit lie? Where does Void Spirit lie as a hero? Void Spirit's a weird one. I don't know. I mean, his nate's just always going to be useful. This is a weird one. I don't know. The agi gain is considerably less than Nyx Assassin, but he has 100 more HP to start with. I don't know, man. Like, how do I put him up against Nyx Assassin? Nyx Assassin. How do you compare against Nyx Assassin? Void Spirit. This is the definition of C tier. Definition of C tier. He's a C tier hero. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? I'm getting all mixed up. Getting all mixed up. Guess we'll move this up. Move this up. Move this up. Move this up. Like this. It's a bit disorganized, but we'll sort through it. All right. Oh, Spectre. I'm eating right now. Spectre coming up is definition of D tier. So he's like the definition of D tier, I think. It's bad. Bad. It's bad across the board. Bad mana. Bad agi game. Bad strength. No redeeming qualities. I mean, they have phasing, that's it. Talents don't make up for it. 10 talent, 5 HP regen, and 3500 HP at 20 doesn't. They don't make up for Spectre being a bad model. Spectre is definition of D. At least armor's okay, but like HP starts up pretty mid, pretty bad. Shrink gain's bad. I don't know if 2.5 is bad, but if you're agility and your int sucks, you better excel at strength. And she used to be agi at least, but now she's universal now. So this just sucks. Vector as a hero model is pretty bad. Definition of D. Nyx and Void Spirit are definition of C. Spectre is definition of D. And Ebba might belong there too. Let's see. He might, yeah. You almost always want dispersion on a different model. Like the talents don't make up for it. In fact, she doesn't have any talents until 25. If you want to press Spectral Dagger, just get a regular int hero. You want Desolate, get a ranged hero. Like getting 15 Desolate on Spectre is, you don't pick it for this 15 talent. Hell no. So Spectre's just bad. No redeeming talents, no redeeming innates, no redeeming facets. Just bad all around. Her abilities belong on other heroes. You want to press Spectral Dagger and hit people with that. I mean, the cooldown's pretty long and it's pretty mid for what it does, but if you want to press it, pick an int hero. That's better suited for it. Desolate belongs on a ranged hero. It belongs on anything other than Spectre, because Spectre is balanced around the fact that she spawns 5 illusions and she's strong. And if you can find a better hero model, it's like Chaos Knight to some degree. Chaos Knight has a really good ability, Phantasm. And if you can find other heroes to pair with it, it's powerful, but Spectre is intentionally weak to balance out that aspect of the hero, right? This is like premier AD technology, where you pick Shadow Step, but you get something that isn't bad like Spectre, because the model balances the ability very much to a great degree. Now at least Abaddon, he has some redeeming stuff. I would say he's along the same line of Spectre in that, but at least his movement speed's not terrible, right? At least his movement speed's good. And I think his redeeming things are that he has a good innate, he has a good facet. Like he's redeemed for sure. He has the quickening. He has Withering Mist. He has talents that matter. Like for example, if you go Bard Time and you don't go a core, you end up not going a core build. Get the Mist Coil, then get Scepter, and then you become this. You get the Scepter with Mist Coil and Borrow Time, and you heal your teammates when they get low. And it's a really good save, like AoE save. You can make that more potent with the 15 talent. And then you can also get the W. You know, if you want to give a Photic Shield regen, you get the Mist Coil damage. You probably don't want Curse of Avernus on the Baton. Yeah, a Photic Shield barrier mount, 350 AoE Mist Coil. So this is like, you can go support a Baton, right? So the hero model lends to that. Like Withering Mist is good, the facet's good, the talents are good. Everything else is pretty bad. That's okay. That's okay. So Abaddon is redeemed in that sense. Now the problem with quickening is that his int is bad. If you try to make a spell build work on him and try to rely on quickening, and things dying to make your cooldowns better, and it is a flat mount, so you want low cooldown abilities. Like, I don't know, Abaddon Shadow Poison, is that a thing? Abaddon, just, you know, it has to be a low cooldown. Or maybe a very long, it has to be a very long one, or a very short one. Usually if it's in between, you don't get as much value out of, like, things like this. My issue, though, is that does this bump Abaddon into C tier? I want to put him below C and D, but such a thing doesn't exist. Okay. Abaddon is definition of D. Spectre is definition of F. I think that's what I meant to do, actually. Spectre's definition of F. Abaddon is definition of D. Like, he has redeeming qualities, so he's D. Spectre has no redeeming qualities. She is F. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant, so. This is like cream of the crop. Always gonna be, you're gonna find some way to make this good. I just don't see how you don't. B is good very often, or maybe not as often as you might want, but when you hit it, it like really hits, which is, you know, Warlock and Innate. So you've got a character in each tier. C is middle of the pack. C is just, you know, it's serviceable. It's okay. There's nothing bad about it, but there's nothing particularly good either. It's serviceable. You can work with it. So that's Void Spirit, that's Nyx Assassin. They're sort of John Dota, you know, they're the John Dota. Nothing excelling, but nothing necessarily holding them back by a outrageous degree. Nyx Assassin has pretty low starting HP though. I have a little bit of an issue with him. Oh, and by the way, he has a nice innate. You don't have to carry around detection. So if you can build him as tank, which is hard to do because his base HP is starting HP is pretty bad, and he has average strength gain. But let's see. 80 agility on 25. That's a lot of agility, but I don't know. Is it fair to put Nyx next to Void Spirit? I feel like the 100 HP difference is actually like, it's pretty big. Like this is very low, this HP. So I don't know if if Nyx Assassin is exactly John Dota. Void Spirit feels more like John Dota. The Void Spirit has lower like agi gain, which is the issue. So he doesn't fit right click very well, whereas Nyx Assassin, he fits it a bit better. Like you can go right click on Nyx, and I've seen it happen. In regular Dota, people go, you know, like right click Nyx. It's either that or presuming you're not playing him support, which you probably should be. Presume you're not playing support and going Dagon or Aetherlands or whatever. That's probably the only thing holding him back from doing that is just low starting HP. If they buff this up by like, I don't know, made it 600, just gave him 100 starting HP, people would play offlane Nyx like quite a bit more, I think. But this starting HP definitely hinders him. Meepo. Meepo's a good support model. High starting HP. High movement speed. In-game's not good. Starting mana is not good. But you can make up for it. It's much easier to make up for the mana in this role with the high starting HP and movement speed, than to and good starting armor too. 6 starting armor. That's the top end. So he's very tanky and very fast. And being very tanky and very fast is good. This is good. He's not gonna get skilled over time. And for supports, that means the starting HP is more relevant than the scaling HP. So this is definitely like a 4 position sort of thing. You can put him in 3, but strength gain is not gonna be good over time. Oh, and the Nate's good too. Sticky Fingers. Does it even exist in 80? I think it does. It does, I think. You get strength and okay. Strength and evasion on the talents. He is a good tank. Because you just get evasion and strength on talents. That's good. I think he belongs in C right now. I don't want to rate him relatively to other tanks. Because he just doesn't scale, right? His strength gain's not good, so I don't know if you'd exactly call him a tank. He just has generally good stuff. As a support though, if you want to be pressing spells, his mana does have... He has issues, and you need to buy items to help with that. Good innate, good talents. His facets don't exist, of course. Okay. Next is Kez. 1.9 base attack time to start. He starts in samurai form, right? Not samurai, katana. Like switch discipline doesn't exist in excuse me, it doesn't exist in 80. Only ultimates are allowed to take up the DNF slots, and these switch discipline is it's not a part of the ultimate per se. The way he's implemented in AD is they randomize between these 3 showing up, and then you just get to play. You get to play this, right? You get to play katana form always, which is not... Is it? I don't think it's good. 1.9 the base attack time is just bad. It's like Hoodwink. You're playing Hoodwink here, but you're not ranged. You're playing Hoodwink, but you're not ranged. And so, I would have to put that in... It has to be sort of now. Okay, so how about I rank Hoodwink then? I think I'm going to put Hoodwink in B. I don't think she deserves to be in A. Something just tells me she doesn't belong in A. Something just tells me, because that high ass base attack time is very much it's just not appreciated. And if you're going to pick her, you're going to be picking her for that attack range right click. Right. I think you're gonna do that. Oh, her int gain's good though. You could just pick her to be a caster, and then just... I mean, that's how she's played in regular Dota too. She's a support. Good innate, good move speed. Yeah, she's like a support in Dota too. But she just doesn't belong in S. I think the only thing that's just what holds her back from being not S, A. She belongs in B. I think that's the only thing that holds her back from being in A. She belongs in B. So with respect to that, Kez belongs in C, I think. He belongs in C. He's serviceable. His strength gain's okay. His agi's good. It's good, but it's held back by the base attack time. For sure. But he has like really good armor. He has really good armor. He's serviceable. Hit gain's on the low side. But he's serviceable because of the other things. He stays in Katana, has 1.9 base attack time. I feel like PA belongs in... I don't know. Does she belong in D? I don't know how I like to I think if a lot of the ranged heroes belong in B, then the melee right clickers belong in C. I think they should belong in C. Because like their agi gain is good. I just don't like them being squishy though with like 2 strength. I don't like them being squishy, but I mean you can they manage by even though they're squishy. They buy a satanic, you know. AM if he needs to, he'll buy a satanic. If PA needs to, she'll buy. They can buy things to solve these issues. The problem is she doesn't need evasion. She's squishy because she relies on evasion. And Anti-Mage relies on his reflect, right? Anti-Mage relies on reflect, or he'll buy like a Vanguard, or nowadays he's buying Helm of the Dominator. But he relies on that to counteract his terrible strength gain. He buys Helm of the Dominator. And then for magic he counterspells. So he that's how his sort of tankiness, quotation marks, is granted, if not through strength gain. Okay, so I feel like I want to put PA in D then. Because she doesn't have blur, or immaterial as it's called nowadays. She just doesn't have this. These aren't an AD, so you just don't, yeah. If they existed in AD, then you could use the talents, right? You could just pick a material, get a bunch of evasion, and get a talent for it, and you're a hero who has a lot of evasion. That's nice. That's tankiness. That feels good. I really think this. I just really feel like this belongs in D. I understand Phantom Strike's a really good ability, and it's present when she's in the lobby, right? Phantom Strike's present when she's in the lobby. Like she works in regular Dota too, but I feel like a lot of it, she relies on evasion and blur quite a lot, right? You need blur to farm. Like if you can imagine regular Dota 2 PA without blur or without her evasion, just Q, W, and QDR, she's significantly worse, and that's probably why she's doing bad in the meta right now, because you have to level immaterial, because it's an ability now. You have to level to get your evasion. Whereas before it would just come naturally when you leveled blur. And these just don't exist in AD. So I think I'm putting her in D. Like she's okay. I don't know, but she's not an Anti-Mage, right? She's not. Like where would I put Anti-Mage? Where would I put Monkey King? Where is Monkey King, by the way? He's there. Where do I put all the melee right clickers? I don't know. I don't think they belong in. I think some of them belong in D, but most of them just belong in C, probably. Like, they're serviceable. Yeah, I just don't know. Like, unlike Anti-Mage or Juggernaut, she doesn't have a really good base attack time. So, her strength gain being low is not... Like, look at Jug. And Jug has Blade Form. He gets this on part of the hero model. Really high starting agility. Low strength gain, yes, but then he has Healing Ward, he has Spin, he has ways to make up for it. PA does too in regular Dota 2. She has Blur and she has Immaterial, even though they're pretty sucky nowadays. But then those go away. And you're not guaranteed to see it in the draft, ways to make up for it, right? You're not guaranteed to see other ways to make up for your bad strength. So this is just a step below the other melee right clickers. And then I feel compelled to put it in D then. I think it very much belongs in D then. Because similar to Abaddon, there's ways to make up for this being pretty bad, right? And this is pretty bad relative to the other melee right clickers. Like this is very much a relative skill. Like she's fighting against her peers. So she belongs in D, I think. If you can find a way to make up for her poor strength gain and starting HP, good. because then you're left with 3.4 agi gain, which is okay. It's serviceable. 4.5 armor is okay. Okay, base damage. Okay, movement speed. Okay, you know, above average starting attack speed. You know, good. All this is good. For a melee right clicker. But range is just king. So if you see a ranged, this is for when you don't see a ranged in the lobby. You pick PA, and then you try to make up for the. Maybe you buy. Excuse me. Maybe you buy a Falcon Blade. Maybe you buy something to make up for it. And obviously you're not first picking it. Maybe you get Phantom Strike and you want to get talents later on. That's probably the most likely reason why you would pick this. Is okay, I took Phantom Strike because it's a good ability. Then I'm looking. There's no good ranged hero models. Okay, well I'm probably just gonna take Coup de Grace. You have to choose between hero model or Coup de Grace as like your second draft maybe. If you see nothing else in the draft that has right click modifiers. And then you finally settle on, okay, I'm just going to take PA then, because PA has a 10 talent and a 20 talent. And that's why you would pick PA. That is why you would pick PA. Okay. So she is a deer. Pingolier. Good agi gain, good strength. Okay, strength gain. And gains on the lower side. Good armor. Not okay, it's middle of the pack movement speed. It's like 5 movement speed below 300, whatever. This is a good hero model. And I would put him in C. I'm very tempted to put him in A. I'm quite tempted to put him in A. Because, let's see. I feel very tempted to put him in A. Because he's got, let's see. Swashbuckle, Rolling Thunder, Shield Crash, Lucky Shot. I feel very tempted to put him in A because his int gain's on the lower side, obviously. But look at these gains. He's universal, okay, strength gain, good agi gain. You know, above average. It's like a 4-star agi gain. I don't know if I would call it like on the higher end, like a 5-star, but it's like a 4-star. Starting attack speed is on the. It's in the like lower side, like it's like a 2-star. Let's see. So this is where I would begin applying, and he has an okay like innate. I feel like you might want to go like butterfly because of this, because then you know, chance reduction 40%. You reduce their MKB like by half, right? And that can be a cool idea for a melee right clicker. Did I put him in the melee right clicker category, by the way? Where is he? Oh, he's a to be determined. Okay. Well, I feel like he would definitely belong in the melee right clicker category. Just looking at this now. Just looking at this now, it's like everything's good. A little bit, tiny bit below average attack damage, but that's okay. He'll get it back over time. He's universal and he has high stat gains across the board. Let's see. His starting HP regen isn't that a little bit high? I think it's quite high actually. 3.2 looks high. Let's see. Level 1 HP regen. No, it's average. It's average. Okay. This is where I would apply my little like my statistical model. I would run him through it. So I'm gonna preserve this for. And I'm gonna put him at the end of the line. He's to be okay. Let's to be sorted or modeled with or system modeled. Is that the best way to describe it? To be sorted or system modeled. And I think I want to put like these like a lot of these C heroes belong here. I think because of that. So we're gonna put a lot of these C heroes. Or let's keep them in. Let's keep them in here. Maybe. Do I want to keep them in here? I think I'm gonna apply my system very much to the like to the C heroes. When it comes to A, B, and DF, those are just like those are just like I feel like blatantly clear to me where those that those people belong in there. But the C's are like there's a lot of fighting in the middle of like the bell curve. There's a lot of infighting, or there's a lot of fighting in between there. And I guess the point of a tiering system is to like not go into the nuance of that is to intentionally get rid of nuance and, you know, just talk more big picture, generalized stuff. But I don't know, I just feel compelled to run them through it and display them on screen when I make the video. That's just the level of nuance I would want, right? Because I want to click on the video and then like skip to them and then just like, okay. Now I know to make, ooh, like maybe I should pick a Meepo over a Void Spirit or something like that, you know? Right? I think Darkseer is definitely A. He's got Quick Wit and the Heart of the Battle attached to his, let's see. So he gets minus 20, but he gets a percentage base increase later. So that's good. Both of these, Quick Wit is good. Quick Wit is quite good. Also gains attack speed from intelligence. Wait, is it as good as I thought it was? Okay, what's his innate again? Oh, that's a pretty solid innate. Very helpful in the lane. And if you kill people in the middle of a fight, a big team fight, you get and you get a ton of EXP in a short moment, then it'll also proc there. It's a good innate. Helps in lane. I don't know if I would I put it in the same tier as like Necrophos? This is probably why he belongs in A tier. Because you just get this like Necrophos like innate. It's not as good as Necrophos, I think. But it's serviceable. And it's beyond, it's above and beyond what you would get out of the other two heroes, right? Having an innate that's this good and generally applicably good for the laning phase. I like Quick Wit because it just kind of it presents to you the same sort of itemization options that Agis get, right? So like maybe you wanna go the Orchid when you're building items, and I think that actually happens in regular Dota 2. You just go Orchid on Darkseer. Maybe you're incentivized to go Scythe the Vice then, because you get a 30 attack speed on it also, right? Isn't that cool? To have 30 attack speed attached to Scythe the Vice. That's incredibly awesome. Maybe you want to go like Witchblade, right? You want to go Witchblade because you get 12 attack speed attached to it. You get 12 attack speed on Witchblade. Orchid, Witchblade, Hex, or Scythe the Vice, whatever. And then let's see what else. What else? Same, Diffusal Blade, yeah, I mean, both Agis. But, like, you know, yeah. No, yeah. This is good, like, because then this becomes a 2,500 gold item that gives 25 attack speed and 10 damage, right? It's like, that's actually really cool. I wanna try that. I've never thought about this item this way. Magic Link treads Diffusal on Darkseer, so I'm gonna definitely put this in A. It needs more experimentation, and I've been on the lookout to click the Darkseer model, but it just never came up to me. But I want to try this. Like, I want to try this stuff. Quick Wit, like the way you think about itemization with Quick Wit, it's very cool. And like, look at this item, guys. Look at this item. Wait, is it instead or is it also? Is it instead or also? Also gains attack speed. So this is like, you get an all-stat item and you're getting 2x attack speed from an all-stat item. It's very cool. And like the attack speed you get you're getting 2.7 damage per level. So that's whatever, but the attack speed you get per level with this is 3, let me do the math. 3 plus, it's 4.2. You're getting 4.2 attack speed per level. You attack fucking fast. So it's also, it's not, it's also. So this gives you like 70 attack speed. This gives you 70 attack speed, and what's this? I actually wonder how Butterfly works on Darkseer. That's like an interesting thing. Cause what the fuck does Butterfly do again? I don't know. It says base attack speed, but if your Quick Wit is a part of that, what does that do for? What does Butterfly do for that? Right? Yeah, look at that. You just start the game with 21 extra attack speed. That's pretty nice for a fast set. Compare that to Elder Titan's Momentum, right? This is like way better. No, we'll get to remove them. We're gonna do dummies. Remove. We're gonna get the same So this is, we're gonna get 25 damage and 35 agility on another Darkseer. So let's spawn an ally Darkseer. We're doing a little bit of science here. Eagle Song. So how much is 35? This is 25. So is there like, let's get a Blade of Alacrity. That's 35. And then I just need an extra 25 damage. So 25 damage would become 25. How do I get 25 damage? How do I get 25 damage? I feel like I should know. How do I get 25 damage exactly? I can get 24. I can get 24 damage, which is like 1 damage off. Which won't make a huge difference, so I should probably just do that, maybe. Because these give 2 damage. 25 damage. 25 damage. Oh, I can get, wait, no, that doesn't work. Oh, I can, how about this? I'll just do 24. I'll just do 24. Alright, let me do this. So that's 18. 18 plus 2 is 22. No. We'll just do 24 damage. Why can't it be attacked? Maybe maybe an enemy needs to do it. Why can't I attack my items? Okay, you be the garbage pickup. Okay. Let's see it. Oh. I forgot targets can move too. That's funny. Okay, let's see if this will make me attack. They both have quick wit, right? So let's get a Mystic Staff. Give them both a Mystic Staff. Mystic Staff. Mystic Staff. Let's see how this works. Same difference, right? I think it's the same difference of attack speeds. 200, 231, 200, 231. If I drop this, I get a minus 25, right? 231 minus 31 minus 25 is, yeah, 6. And 200 minus 25 is 175. So this is such a stupid... But look, if I get, let's get a Blade of Alacrity. That'll give me 10 attack speed. So, let's see. 231, this should go to 241, right? But it goes up by an extra 2 because of the way base attack speed percentage works. I feel like Quick Wit should be included in this. But really all this means is that base attack speed percentage just means you get, if for every point of agility, you get like, if you get like 10 agility, you'll get 2 more attack speed. That's all that means. That's all that means. But it doesn't apply to intelligence. So if I get another, let's get what's the thing? Intelligence. If I get like a Staff of Wizardry, right? 241. Oh, whoops. 251. 261. It's not like Blade of Alacrity where I get an extra 2. So that's just one. I was just pointing that out. Anyways, I think Darkseer is definitely a step above other. Like melee right clickers. I think he exists a step above that for sure. Because Quick Wit is just... and I would have to test it, of course. But then you also have to consider that he's getting... So that's because the fast... Now you have to also consider that he's getting like a pretty solid innate that puts him on the I don't know. It's not exactly a Necrophos level innate, but it's up there. So I'm putting that in B. Ursine. Good starting HP. Good armor. Average agility gain. Pretty bad strength gain. But it's okay because he has good level 1 HP. And then the Ent is bad. Maul is a pretty good innate. It's just free damage. You know, I'll take that. Go to the bank with it. So I think that definitely puts him in B tier because of that. And then let's see. He gets some mana regen on 10. And everything else is for Fury Swipes, Overpower, or Enrage. So how would I rate this? This is like where I wanna compare the C's between each other, right? I wanna compare the C's between each other. Health as damage, and so like when you're getting damage per level, it's not just 2.8 damage per level, right? With agi gain, you're getting an extra what? Because of your strength gain, you're getting around 22 times 2.4. Let's do the math. That's 52.8. So 52.8 times what? 0.00 or 0.0125? 0.0125. Okay, that's like that's not even a lot. That's actually not a lot. He's getting an extra 0.66 damage per level. Okay, that's not a lot. Just from his natural strength gain, Maul doesn't give that much more. But if you want to be like, I don't know, this innate's actually not a lot of value. This innate's actually not a lot of value. I will just put it in... It's like a very specialized juice. You're not going to be able to make it work that consistently. You're not going to build an entire identity off of Maul, because it's just too small. It's just a nice little extra 0.66 damage per level, which, given his average agi and the way he's bounced around Fury Swipes and Overpower, that's an extra, you know, it's just an extra 0.66 damage per level, which puts him at what? Like 3? Or, let me think. 3.46, right? 3.46 damage per level, which is whatever. His base damage actually starts low. Okay, so that's bad. And that's obviously that's about to bounce out W and E. Okay, so he's actually he's sitting in C tier. He does get bear down though attached to the hero model. But you can't be pressing spells that often, right? So it would need to be like Curse of Avernus. But then you just want ranged. You want a ranged if you want to use Curse of Avernus. So this is why melee, all the melee right clicks, they just belong in C. And a lot of the ranged right clicks belong in A. Or not A, B. They belong in B. So bear down, it's okay, but like a lot of the way to get value is you have to press spells and your int sucks. So bear down, you just don't get a lot of value out of it. Grudge Bearer comes with Enrage, so it's not a part of the model. He is definitely a seer, and we're gonna go ahead and run all these guys through the. So I'm gonna run these guys through the system model. Run them through the system model that I made. Okay, Earthshaker. Good strength gain. So that's just a good tanker, and I'm gonna go ahead and put him in the tanker. And what's his talents also? Ooh, Slugger is good too. The way you can send them flying when you kill them with it says enchant totem or other abilities. So as long as you're killing them with any other ability, it will send them flying. Alright, so there's a base amount and then there's a max HP amount, right? That seems to be the way Slugger works. So this, I think he belongs in, this guy probably belongs in B. Good innate, if you can make it like work. Good tank model. Spell casting's on the lower side, but you can make it work. You can make it work just to get Slugger to work. And then let's see. The existence of him in the game also means Aftershock is in the game. Enchant Totem's in the game. Every one of his abilities are just good. All of them are good. You don't need to get this without Aftershock. It's okay to get it without. You'll still deal the damage. You just won't stun them with the Aftershock. Let's see. Yeah, like a base damage increase, so yeah, you can do some okay right click damage. I don't know if you will. I mean, that's a lot of Enchant Totem. talents. If you draft a totem, maybe you want to think to get him just to get some talents. Pick up some talents. Go like heavy right click or like Echo Saber, Mask of Madness sort of stuff maybe, right? Something like that. I don't know. No, maybe more like Echo Saber Daedalus, right? Echo Saber Daedalus on this with Enchant Totem. There's a persistent issue though that you just always want to rather be ranged instead. But you don't need to. You're not. But that's not the first thing that came to mind is using him with Enchant Totem. You can. It's okay to just use him with as a tanker. So I'm gonna rate him relatively to other tankers when that comes up. I'm actually gonna go ahead and use the restroom. I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom. Alrighty, we are back. Back once again, back once again, back once again with the ill behavior. Okay. I want to make a quick little detour. I was thinking about gyrocopter. I don't know why. Where's gyrocopter, by the way? How is he in to be determined? Oh, probably this is the reason why. Let me skip the line a little bit and get to him right now. I think this hero is I don't really like it. Maybe there's some cool innovations to be had with Chop Shop, but this base damage starts pretty low. Okay, good movement speed. Attack range is bad, but that doesn't really matter. You're flacking. I just don't think people should second pick the hero model. That's all I'm saying. And there's better hero models if you want the hero, if you value the hero model for the hero model. Right? Like, I guess what people want to do is, like, they want to get, like, extra flat, no, what was I going to say? Yeah, they want extra flat cannon damage. You know, you get HP. Like, I guess they just want the 3 talents, right? Oh, they look at 3 talents. Oh, flat cannon damage. +3. But, like, in regular Dota 2, you don't pick this hero to scale flak. Or I guess you do. I mean, you do. But, like, is it that good? The question is, the answer is maybe. Because when you don't have a bunch of spell shit, and, like, this is what you should build if you have, like, spell shit. Get this on spell shit stuff. Get Call Down, Homing Missile, and Rocket Barrage on a support. Keep the flat cannon. This is what entirely defines, like, carry gyro. Is this one ability and talents. And I guess in that respect, but you don't second pick the hero model because of that. Like, if it's, I think you like third or fourth pick it. Because if the idea behind behind scaling gyro with flak and being a better gyro is like having a gyro with a blink or like a defensive or a stun or like a instant stun, whatever. I don't know. Whatever it is that you find useful to be good for flat cannon. Like a mobility spell, or it can just be whatever. More right click modifiers. Then you pick the hero model after. I feel like it's okay to pick the hero model after then. You don't, I think people get way too attached to these talents. It's just not, they're not that good. And the base damage starts off bad. So like a lot of the time when you're playing Gyrocopter in Dota 2, you have to build like Chrysalis first item. You build Chrysalis first item to make up, that's like your farming item is building a Chrysalis. Just to make up for how bad your starting damage is. So you can actually like flak properly onto the jungle camps. And I don't know, if you just get like a Nature's Prophet, something that's like good. If you get like you get a ranged Agi, if it's present in the pool, then you pick that. People second pick Jawcopter way too often, in my opinion. And maybe there's some chop shop tech I'm missing, but people don't chop shop. People don't do that. I don't even know if it exists in one ability draft. I think it does, chop shop. But people don't really utilize it. And if they're not utilizing it in regular Dota 2, they're probably not utilizing it in... I mean, what's even good at being disassembled? This is... When you look at this innate, you think like, oh, there could be like a lot of possibilities, but what is there really? I guess you can get Meteor Hammer and then get rid of it and then get something else later on. Just get like Meteor Hammer to farm. I think, do recipes sell back for full price? Yeah. You can sell recipes for full value. So maybe you can get like a Meteor Hammer, farm with it, then be done with it, and then the active stops being useful, and then you can come back to get like a Veil of Discord. I think maybe that's what I've seen in regular Dota 2 and support gyros, because there are support gyros in Dota 2. That is a thing. But like I don't know where else would you find value in. I guess you can get Dagon and get a bunch of recipe levels. How does Chop Shop work with Dagon? Because that could actually be legit. You can invest a lot of gold into Dagon, and then when you don't like feel like it stops being useful to you, you just get rid of. You can return so much gold, right? Let's see how Dagon works. Dagon 5 can be disassembled. Let's wait for the disassembly thing to come out. And then let's see. Boom, disassemble, 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 disassemble. Oh, and this is cool then. This is pretty cool. And I don't know where you would put this. I guess you would stay on Dagon 1. I don't know. This is actually cool then. This is cool. It says I can sell it at full price, but what happens if... Okay, yeah, it's still full price, even after the cooldown goes away. So that's pretty cool, actually. But that's speculative value. Like, I've never played with it myself, but I can... Like, this is why I would want to, like, play more AD, just to experience this and then get back to you guys with the idea on that. So I'll point it out in the video. I was gonna... Whoops. My bottle just fell. I had an empty bottle on my desk. I need to stop letting them pile up on my desk. Throw them out. Boom. Let future me deal with that. Like, I'm trying to, like, put my leg up on the table, and I just ate too, so there's a plate. I need to just move that over to the sink to be washed later. Stop letting shit pile up on my desk. Because I want to, like, kick back and put my foot on the table right now while I'm doing this. Just kick back, put my foot up on the table. Alright. And my drink here. Just organizing my desk real quick, and then we'll get back to the Dota. Okay. So Chop Shop. Chop Shop is good for a spell build. I think people overvalue those flat cannon talents. They're really fucking... They're just overrated. You'd rather have... They're really overrated as a second pick, but I mean, it definitely could come up as like a third or fourth pick. I can definitely see that if you want to value the talent scaling later. But if you just want value now, just like I would take a Nature's Prophet, man. Let me get the Nature's Prophet. Let me just have that. That's better. And getting value with Chop Shop on a right click, it doesn't happen that often. It's more like a... What about tank gyros? I don't know if like tank is a thing for Chop Shop tank builds. Like what would you want to disassemble as a tank build? Maybe blade mail. Maybe the blade mail. I mean, the higher the recipe cost, the better the value, right? And I guess you can kind of just treat it as sort of like Doom's facet, where you can disassemble and you can sell the components too. You don't have to reuse the components. You could just treat, you know, you can just treat the innate as being able to sell, get more money back. It's like where you would otherwise get, what is this, 375 gold? You get 375 gold more for selling blade mail, whereas you would only otherwise get how much? 1,150. 1,150. Add 375 gold onto that, right? 1,150 plus 375. And I don't know how much that is, but like, whatever it is, you know, whatever it is. What are the most expensive recipes, I wonder? What are the most expensive recipes? This doesn't even have a... This is already disassemblable. What's like an Atos? 4 staff is pretty... let's see. Atos. No, that's a cheap recipe. 4 staff's pretty expensive though. But where would you go if you didn't? I don't know. I don't know where I'm trying to get at, but Chop Shop Dagon. That's actually the biggest use probably, where you can invest a lot of gold into Dagon and then refund it. You can just like, it gives you a lot of flexibility to just use the Dagon and then make a 180 on it. Make a 180. Whatever, you know, suited for your game. So I can definitely see a gyro Dagon build. That would be cool. Because that has the most recipe cost to it. That has the most recipe cost to it for sure. And you'll probably just like settle on, I mean, let's see. This is not that expensive. Can you repurpose the crown? Maybe, I don't know. How much does Shiva? Ooh, Shiva's costs a lot of money. Shiva's cost a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a recipe. And you get a full refund on that. Okay. Okay. Shiva's E-Blade, Shiva's Dagon. Shiva's Dagon gyrocopter. Maybe. The problem is when you get the Shivas, maybe you just want to keep it though. I don't. That's also another issue with these sort of refund things is that, like, why would it matter if it's like a good item that you want to keep anyway, and then it like whatever. Like, what would you even pivot into? What would you pivot into after building the Shivas? I don't. That is. I guess. Like, Veil only goes into Shivas, so. Yeah, if you disassemble and sell the Shivas, what do you get back? That's just this kid. This is a little bit too. This doesn't matter then. This does not matter. and then if there's no recipe, then you have to repurpose. You have to repurpose the item if you want to get value. If there's no recipe to sell, and you're not just using it for a sellback. I just wanted to keep that idea in mind. You know, the opportunity to sell the recipe, and treat it as a full refund. So would you ever want to do a full refund of Shivas? Maybe. Maybe baby. Maybe baby. 5175 minus 25 or minus or divided by 2. Let's divide that by 2. 25 and let's add 1025 to that. Add 1025 to that. 2587.5 plus 1025. So you basically rented this item for how much? So minus that by 5175 minus this term in parentheses. You rented the item for 1500 gold. Renting a Shivas for 1500 gold. I mean, that's how much you're spending on a Dagon almost, isn't it? Or no, not really, is it? Not really. A Dagon costs like 2,000 something. Oh yeah, it costs way more, 2,850. Oh, actually, it costs 1,700. It costs 1,700 because you could sell the Dagon for full. So Dagon Shivas, I'm thinking about it. Dagon Shivas Gyro for the chop shop value. That's a cool idea. I'll keep it in my mind. I'm definitely going to keep it in my mind. Going like Dagon, Veil of Discord. What would the order of that be? Probably Dagon, Veil of Dis... Is getting the second level in Dagon better than finishing or getting like a Veil? Let's see. 10%, that's 40 more damage. We also have to factor in ability damage if you also have some stuff that comes from spells. Otherwise, let's see. No, it's definitely not worth it. But let's say you go to... Yeah, because it only increases your damage by 40. What happens if you go to 50? You would have to go to like 1,000 damage in order for a Veil of Discord purchase to be worth more than a Dagon. So you would just keep leveling Dagon, I suppose. Yeah. But Dagon Shivas. Renting Shivas for 1,500 gold. Presuming you sell the Veil and the plate mail entirely. Right? And maybe you want to keep the Veil if you're also going Dagon. Just to keep it around and fill up a slot. Because you've already built it, right? No reason to sell it. A lot of the time, selling is inefficient. You don't want to sell items if you don't. I think, like, I'm looking actually, when I think about this game, like, clearly I made some mistakes. Clear I could have played better in a lot of respects, and I made a lot of mistakes. But this Leshrock just fucking pissed me off, and he played so bad. And I also made a mistake by going, I mean, in this game, I sold a Maelstrom. Like, I sold a Maelstrom, right? But the game was getting really late. It was like tier 5 items, I think, at some point. I don't know, this game pissed me off. I think it pisses me off, especially when my teammate's playing bad, and that makes me play bad too. I get especially pissed off because then it's sort of like a. It's a positive feedback loop, where I'm getting pissed off that I'm getting pissed off that I'm playing worse because I'm pissed off, and that makes me pissed off, and then it increases my pissed offness, and then it's a feedback. It's a positive feedback loop, and it's not good. And it just gets me totally It makes me exit the game mentally. I hate games like this, because like, I'm just imagining like playing a party game and going like, hey, you're playing well. You got a good KD. You got a good build. Let's take the megas and then let's not fuck around. But like, I don't like doing that in an AD environment. I just don't know. I don't like doing that in an AD environment. I don't think this guy's interested in. This guy's not interested in ability draft. He's been playing some custom games. I think he plays a TD game. He played 2 ability draft games. He said he wasn't interested in ability draft though. I'll ask him. Just because he's shown. Let's do it at some point. Just ask him. He told me he's not interested in the mode though. He's just not interested. He didn't really elaborate, but I mean, if he's showing interest, we'll ask him. Anyways, let's get back to doing this tier list. Only for 5 stack. I feel the exact same way. Yes. I will try to get 5. KD players are the worst in my experience. I think they're the best, actually. But like, I just don't like playing solo queue. And maybe it's different for him, because I think he has Immortal rank. He just doesn't play ranked anymore. I think he used to be Immortal rank. Well, I think it's like the MMR confident, because he hasn't played in a while, probably. So it's fallen off a bit, but yeah. Yeah, if we can get 5, okay, good. Good to know that he's interested if we can get 5. I played with this guy before in party of 5 before. He's a good player. You know, he's got to Immortal for a reason. It's cool to know that he's interested in AD. All right. Let's get back to the tier list. I'm actually gonna... Let's see if anyone's online. I'm gonna invite... I'm on some Discords. I don't think I'm allowed to advertise on one of them. I'll just pop in and just... There's this one particular one. Have you guys heard of Krabby? I did a stream. I don't know where I'm going with this, but basically I'm gonna go into the Krabby Discord. I'm not gonna shout it out or like paste a link in, but I'll be in like the Krabby Cord. All right, I just want to like, if anyone's like interested in offering their opinion, and I can offering different like you know, ideas about these hero models, I'll go ahead and I'll listen to them. All right, let's just continue though. Let's continue. This innate's really good. It's just like it's like it lends itself to a tank build, but it's just like it's free aura. It's free aura. 20 magic DPS in AOE is just when you're like farming jungle creeps is pretty good, because like look at what's Mage Slayer. In Mage Slayer you have to hit each of them like once to achieve the same effect, which is so I think that's where we're gonna like draw a comparison. Where is Mage Slayer? I feel like I'm looking at it. I'm just not noticing it. It's right here. Okay, no. I didn't see it. 20 damage per second. So if you're farming with Mage Slayer and you're hitting all the creeps once, you're dealing 20 magic DPS to all of them, right? So you get that for free. So this is a good model. A little bit below it's like between bad and good. It's like I think this is like a 2-star. This is like a 2.5 star, something like that. A 2.5 star strength gain. Starting HP is above average, or it's mid tier. I feel like a lot of heroes start at like 500 or 560. So 600 should I? I feel like that should maybe be like a 3.5, but I put it as a 3-star. Just because I put the upper limit of strength of starting HP to 700, which I think it's still fair. I think. Because that's S tier. Not S tier, it's like 5-star. It's the 5-star tier. Yeah, good edgy game. Good little immolation aura. It's very nice. Middle of the pack movement speed. Middle of the pack armor. Middle of the pack. Yeah, it's Agi game. He's a Agi hero. How many talents does he have? I'm very interested to know that. Oh, and he gets 12 damage on 10 talent too, which is cool. Let's see. He's like a solid melee hero model. And I feel like just because of the immolation aura, maybe he belongs in... Does he belong in B just because of that? Just because he has an immolation aura? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe, baby. Also has a little solid 12 attack damage. There's nothing crazy, but it's... You take it, you know? Because talents that are just, you know, you don't have to draft any particular ability to get it. It's you just take it. And of course you have to consider... You can't just, like, consider it by itself. Like, oh, I'm going to wait till level 10 to get an effect, and then I'll be good. No, you have to be good before then. And then this is just extra, right? The 12 damage is just extra. 12 damage... Alright, I'm back. I was charging my phone. I was just charging my phone. Endgame's pretty bad though. Sorry, mana pool's pretty bad. But I mean, this hero presses activate remnant quite often, right? So like, it's like he has to build mana to some degree to be able to use his hero, and I think that's what people do in Dota 2 with Ember Spirit. They used to build Shivas, and Shivas used to give way more int, but it doesn't give as much int nowadays. I think he preferred when it used to have Mystic Staff component on Shiva's guard, but it doesn't now. How do they? I think they get like Soul Ring nowadays, right? I think Ember Spirits get Soul Ring. Let's see. Dota 2 Pro Tracker, Ember Spirit. What are they doing nowadays on this hero? And I'm just doing this to gauge, like, what are they building in terms of mana? Oh, they get bottle. Okay, so they just remnant to base and they bottle, and maybe they'll just do that if they desperately need the mana. They'll use a TP scroll for it, right? They'll just use it. Okay, and then they're actually, some of them are buying Kaya. Okay, that's why they do it. They buy Kaya Sanj. I see how they're doing it. This is a typical Ember Spirit build. Get a Mage Slayer, or usually this used to be Maelstrom, but I guess they prefer Mage Slayer nowadays. Yeah, and because you have the persistent immolation aura, Mage Slayer suffices for farming. You don't need a Maelstrom. Okay, that's cool. Mage Slayer, Kaya Sanj, and Ags, and then BKB Refresher, and then that's the build. That's the Ember Spirit build. I see what they're doing. Okay. They're building a Kaya. Okay. So how does that relate to what I'm saying again? I guess on any hero, if you need the mana to press activate Remnant, and you get an Ags with it to get a stronger Fire Remnant, then you get the Kaya. You can get that on any hero, and you'll just get the mana regen. Kaya is the supreme mana regen go-to item. Yeah, Immolation Auras. I don't know. I feel like this hero should go in B. This hero model should maybe go in B. Yeah, I think that belongs in B. Just having built-in farming is cool. That belongs in B because of the Immolation Aura. Alright, Legion Commander. Health Restoration. What is the stat, brother? Health Restoration. That means anything that isn't direct healing gets amped. So this is sort of like an anti-Shiva's. Except Shiva's also messes with heal amp. Both health restoration. This is so stupid. Health restoration and heal amp. It's been split into two things now. They've combined regen amp and lifesteal into health restoration, which is very fucking confusing because you can get it confused with heal amp, which is like direct healing. The direct healing, like a wand, like a thing that actually heals. Regen and lifesteal are separate stats. I don't know why they couldn't just combine everything into a singular stat. Why did they have to keep it separated as two things? But yeah, health restoration, this is like an anti-Shiva's. Equal or higher level than you. So in order to get this to proc, you have to be equal or higher level. That's a bit weird, where you have to intentionally like be weaker. That's a little weird, but let's see. Almost like pretty much top of the line starting HP at 650. That's good. Strength gain is good. So this is a tank. This is a very good tank hero. Good movement speed. This is up there. This is like up there with Meepo. So this is good. Good movement speed. Good base HP, and good stack. This is better than Meepo. I think this is actually better than Meepo. It is better than Meepo. Let's see. Let's look at these talents. Anything to do with outfight them? No. Okay. What about our talents? Let's see. Press the attack. Press the attack. Press the attack. Press the attack. So you probably want to get press the attack if you see Legion Commander in the pool. She has 4 talents. That's a lot. Overwhelming odds. Overwhelming odds. Moment of courage. Moment of courage. Press the attack is like 4x, and they're all like good. All of them are bangers. Movement speed, like a ton of regen, becomes AOE, and then it starts to give like a mini BKB. That's amazing. Press the attack. Yeah, you're probably drafting that Legion Commander. You're probably drafting that Legion Commander. Let's see. This is a good hero model. It's just and I feel like putting it in B. I feel like putting it in B. Overwhelming odds, duels are attached to overwhelming odds and duel. I feel like putting this shit in B. This is like solid. I feel compelled to do it. But like if I don't know, if Meepo's in C, she's not that much better than Meepo. I mean, the fact that she has 4 talents and that you can draft that's only consideration when you want to keep a hero out of F. Like if this hero had bad stat gains across the board, and a redeeming quality was press, what is it called? Press the attack, and the 4x talents, I would put her in D. Just like Abaddon. Because Abaddon's bad, but he has some redeeming qualities. Whereas this hero, I don't think the redeeming quality needs to be considered. Because you're just gonna take it as is. Which is, you know, a very tanky hero who's fast. A tanky hero who's fast. That's solid. And the innate is cool too. It's like an anti-Shiva's. It's weird because you have to like be behind, or someone has to be ahead of you for it to be good. But it'll get its value. It'll get its value when it matters. You know, when it matters. It's an equalizer. You know, it won't help you when you're ahead, but if you're behind, you know, it'll help you. It's an equalizer. Catch up. It's a catch up mechanic. But I still want to run her through the system model. Sven. You more damage to stun enemies. Cool. Good movement speed. Really good strength gain. Agility gains on the lower side. Vanquisher damager bonus. Ooh. So you can get that. Stun people. Click them. Bad base attack time though. Bad base attack time. That is how the hero is sort of balanced. But you could just like, I think I know support Svens exist. Could you just like play support Sven, like a 4-position Sven, and get Warcry and, you know, let's see, Warcry, God Strength. Okay, nothing on 15. We have a 10 and 20. You have Warcry bonuses on 10 and 20, and they look quite significant too. Is Warcry good? I know it has. It even has. Yeah, it even has a talent. Warcry has a talent. Oh wait. 0.4 more damage from strength. Okay, he has a facet attached to the model. It's good. It's good. You can make something out of this. Vanquisher and the facet. I feel like I feel compelled to put this in B. The movement speed is good. It's quite pristine. 3 armor is, I think that's a little bit below, like, I think 4 is middle of the pack, then this is a little bit below it. That's because he's a strength hero. That tends to show up often. He'll make up for it with more bonus HP. Good strength gain. Agility gain's on the bad side, but like, I mean, compare this to Slark. He's a little bit above Slark at least. It's not utter garbage. It's not utter garbage. And it's pretty bad though. Let's see. God Strength on the 20 and 25. Just because of the Wrath of God and the Vanquisher, I feel like this is serviceable, and it's almost identitative, I think. It's definitely identitative. I can think of going armlet on this. I don't think you don't go armlet on Sven, but I can think of situations where you would, right? I can think of situations where you would want to go armlet. Wrath of God, Vanquisher. Why? I mean, and I think the reason why don't Svens go armlet in regular Dota 2? It's because they have a priority to do this pop stuff, right? They just have other item priorities. There's so many item priorities you have as a Sven. Like you wanna, and you can get to there because you have Great Cleave, but you want to get like Mask of Madness, Echo Saber, and Blink. It's like it's quite a lot of gold. It's like 4,000 gold to get to this, and then you still need a BKB after, right? So you can think of it as like it's like one of those heroes who buy like Ag Scepter. They buy Ag Scepter and then they, like as their first item. That's like, dude, you used to spend 4,000 gold on an item. That better be, you better make that worth it. And yeah, Sven obviously makes Echo Saber, Blink, Mask of Madness worth it. And then he still has to get a BKB after that. He has a lot of, and Armlet just doesn't fit into there. But I think this is a hero that you would want to get Armlet on, actually. With this Wrath of God facet, at least, with this Wrath of God facet, bonus damage to enemies who are stunned. I can imagine in a certain build going like Abyss, like Basher and Armlet. Basher and Armlet, man. I can imagine that. Basher Armlet. Armlet Basher on whatever Sven build it is. Just get some stuns, get some strength. Like you can build these are good enough to build an identity around for sure. For sure. And then he has some good talents too that can you get I don't know. Actually they're kind of mid. The talents are kind of mid. But look at this movement speed, look at this strength gain. Something compels me to like put it into B maybe. I'll leave it there along with Ember Spirit because I feel like they're kind of similar in that respect. Lifestealer is definitely a B. I don't think he belongs in C. I think he belongs in B because this Feast, it used to be an ability. It used to be an ability that you would put skill points into, and now it's on an innate. Feast is if it's a good Feast game, it's just a good Feast game. You deal like percent HP damage, and you heal from it too. And then you also get permanent max HP. That's good. That's freaking good. Stat gains are pretty bad across the board, but that's because they're sort of made up by... Oh, no, also Flesh Feast. Flesh Feast attached to the innate. What do you get? 4 all attributes. That's kind of mid, but like, you take those. You take those. That's just a part of the hero model. You take those. Let's see... And then at 25, you get 25 attached to the hero model. Not that you need it, but like Feast is already good by itself. Yeah, Feast is already good by itself. So you get 4 all attributes, and this is a B. This is a B melee hero model. For sure. I might even feel compelled to... I might even want to put it in A. Something tells me to put it in A. I don't know. But like, it's sort of held back by the low base damage. That's because Feast exists. That's because Feast exists on it. That comes hand in hand. That makes sense. But something just tells me to... I don't know. Something tells me to put it into A. I think without the facet, it's B. But with the facet, it might push it into A for me. Flesh Feast might push this into A for me. Yeah. Something tells me to put it into A, man. I'm gonna put it into A. And I haven't had enough games on it to like experience that, but it's fucking... I've seen it. I've seen it own in games before. On my team and the enemy team. And that's because his innate is attached to the hero model, and it's a good innate. It's a good innate. Alright. Brood. Brood Mother. This is probably going to be pretty bad. This is probably... I'm feeling like this is going to be F, but maybe I'm going to get surprised. Oh, this is actually like a healing innate. You know, you get last hits in lane, you heal. Spider's Milk Hero health as heal. Okay, that's cool. The thing is, she's just so fucking slow. When you have a... You don't want to be this slow as a melee hero model and then have nothing to compensate for it. You just don't. And obviously the webs are supposed to do that. But... yeah, the webs are supposed to do that, but like... You can't always consider webs with the hero model. Not always. Because like it might get picked, and it's a very high value webs. Webs is very high value. What if you want to go webs like... This is... I think this and this is an entire build all of itself. Spawn spiderlings and spin webs. And so let's see if she have talents that will support that greatly. Let's see. Spiderling HP? Maybe. Yeah, okay. Spin web charge restore time? Yeah. She does get 35 attack speed. Yeah. Insatiable hunger minus bat reduction. I don't think that matters. I really don't. Because you would want to get... It's a 25 talent, so it's not... You can't really rely on it. You don't have a way to get there. Just on the hero model alone. It's not that worth it. You know, like, I'd rather take a ranged hero. Give me a ranged hero with Insatiable Hunger. I'll just take that instead. Not Broodmother to get to a 25 talent. Right, that's stupid. But her strength gain's like, okay, it's like a little bit above average. Agi gain is good. She's just so slow. Starting HP is bad though. Starting HP is bad. Starting damage is pretty bad too. It's pretty bad. Like, I guess you get a Quilling Blade of course, but she relies on Insatiable Hunger quite a bit. Like, what other comparisons can I make in Dota 2? Like, what other hero who is also melee is so slow? Like, it's really bad. Like, it's really quite bad to be this slow. And then also be melee. Usually melees don't get this slow. I'm gonna look it up on the hero table, actually. Let me look it up. Dota 2 hero attributes table on liquipedia.net. Let's see. Let's sort by movement speed. Where's the movement speed? Let's sort by highest to lowest, and let's see who's at the bottom end. Ooh, Tiny is there. Yeah, Tiny makes... Yeah, he's pretty bad. Tiny also belongs in that bucket, but at least he's fucking tanky as hell, right? He's tanky as hell, so he has that redeeming qualities. The tankiest hero in Dota 2, I think, actually. No, he's not. No, he's not. Primal Beast, Ogre Magi are a step above him, actually, in terms of strength gain. And he's actually just only on par with Centaur War Runner. Okay. But like it's like his identity. Like he uses grow. It's like his thing. Let's see. He was this low movement speed and also melee. There's not a lot. Like everyone who's this low move speed at the bottom end of the move speed I'm looking at the hero tables right now. Like let's see, there's Medusa. I just lost track of the movement speed stat. 275. There it is. So, yeah, the heroes who are sitting at the bottom end are all ranged. Viper, Weaver, CM, Enigma, Necrophos, Phoenix. Oh, here's Pudge. But, why is Pudge low? I think that's because they put Pudge low because they don't want you, like, being faster and being able to close the distance with Hook. Like, let's say you're getting chased for him for, like, 5 seconds. Like, you don't want... If Pudge movement speed was too high, then over time he could close the distance with... and make the hook easier. So they intentionally made his move speed bad to balance Hook. I see that. Razor is the same to balance Static Link. Chain Protector. Ooh, I didn't know Chain Protector was this bad. I didn't know... Oh, yeah, I didn't know he was that slow. That was never in my... I guess he doesn't feel slow because he has the tree walking. That's why you can sort of make him not feel as slow because of the tree walking. But he is slow. Venomancer, Arc Warden. Bloodseeker is here, but that's... Bloodseeker and Broodmother here, but that's just because they rely on Thirst and Webs, right? Okay, so maybe I should compare Broodmother and Bloodseeker to each other, and then we can work something out from there. Let's see, Invoker, Morphling, PL, but he has Phantom Rush, Shadow Shaman, Sniper. So there's just a lot of ranged heroes at the bottom end here. And if you're melee and you're slow, you better fucking make up for it somehow. You better make up for it somehow. And I don't know if Broodmother does make up for it enough. Her base armor is really dang low. Her base damage is pretty dang low. Yeah, her strength gains are above average. Yeah, her agility is good. But does that make up for the low move speed and low armor and low level 1 HP? I don't think so. I don't think so. And this is to balance the heroes, webs and spiders being so OP, obviously. This is to balance that. But when you're just drafting it as a standalone hero model in AD, I guess nowadays she has spider's milk. I think this is I don't know if it's definition, but I think this is a D. This is a D. Like you can make it work in some situations, similar to Baden and PA. But this feels like a D. Okay. CK. Reigns of Chaos is a pretty cool innate. Edge gain's pretty bad. That's the Balanced Phantasm. Strength gain's good. Starting HP is good. Just based off of this, I'm going to put him in the tank. And sort that out later. Look, he even gets 10% strength on the talents, which is cool. So, I'm shaving right now. Ooh, the armor is even good. Yeah, the armor is even good. Move speed's good. HP is good. When you work up... What a crazy damage range, by the way. But if you work out the average, let's see. 48 plus 78. I think this still works out to be something really good. Divided by 2. Yeah, 63 base damage. High base damage. Yes, there is a range. But on average, it's going to be pretty damn high. High base damage. High level 1 HP. Pretty... it's above average. Above average strength gain. I don't know if I'd say it's high, but it's like a 3.5 star. 5-star movement speed. Agi gain's pretty bad. So this is a good tank model. And I mean, if there's other illusion stuff in the lobby, maybe you do want to build like an illusion build, just off of the innate, right? Because imagine having this with the basic illusion ability, like, I don't know, Terrorblade's spawn thing. The chance to spawn 2 of those is fucking good. That's fucking good. The chance to spawn, like, more illusions when you press the Naga thing, it's good. When you're playing, what other illusions stuff? If there's Shadow Demon in the lobby, having him press this on, or if you can own it yourself, and press it on yourself, without having a support babysitting you, and you can just press this for yourself and max that. And which is a good ability to max, by the way. Shadow Demon's illusion thing is a good thing to max, because it gives like bonus base damage on the illusions. They actually hit quite damn hard. I remember playing Shadow Demon mid, and maxing that, and then I would just run it at the enemy. And a typical mid laner in Dota 2 is going to be able to nuke that. But if they can't nuke those 2 illusions, you're going to just fucking smack them. Because you're maxing, and you're getting... let me read it out, actually. Like, look at this ability. Disruption. Bonus base damage. Look at that. 25, 40, 55. That's a lot of damage. Hitting them for like 30 damage each time your illusions hit them. It hurts. This shit slaps. And I can imagine slapping very hard on CK. But, I mean, I'll have to, like, go over all... like, there's not that many. I could go over all of them and then determine that. I could go over all of them. But let's see. Oh, he also has Fundamental Forging. Okay, that might propel him into, like, B tier. He was already C tier, but, like, I think that propels him into B tier. Fundamental Forging. Because sometimes the hero model picks get picked quite late. And if you don't have, like, a... Sometimes you just, like, not have a facet. And then to get any facet at all that gives value... Facet is like a very cool thing to think about, because sometimes you'll... Yeah, like I said, you'll be later in the draft, you'll have no facets, and then the facets become a consideration because, later in the draft because of the fact that there's a facet attachment. But if you end up finding a facet early in the draft, then it doesn't become a consideration, right? Or you're going to keep a facet. But that's really cool, because like it added more dimensions to AD that didn't exist in the past. Same thing for innates. And so, I mean, having an innate and a facet attached to a hero model that are both useful, it's cool. And then having good strength gain, and then... I guess when you consider the 10 strength at 15, let me think about that. 15 divided, or let me do the math on that. So 10 divided by 15, right? So that means you got like an extra, by the time you get to 15 and you click that strength talent, you'll have effectively, you can kind of, I mean, you get it in a distinct jump, obviously. But but if you could have, but like you can sort of treat that as like a 3.7, a 3.7666 repeating strength gain when you hit 15. By the time you hit 15, I don't know if that makes sense. So it's actually quite. I might, yeah. I mean, I was already sold. You didn't need to give me this 15 talent to tell me that this is a good tank model. It's a very tanky model. Look at that armor. Look at that movement speed. Look at that HP. Look at that strength. I would honestly pick this on a caster build if I didn't have like bogus amounts of mana costs, just so I could have all this armor and HP. This is a good support model. And yeah, I'll just build mana items to make up for my bad mana. Because look at how much HP and armor and movement speed you're getting. And you're a melee too, which is typically, I think it's typically a good thing in the lane if you're a support. Because you get damage block. Like Ogre Magi is okay with being melee. He actually appreciates being melee because he gets that damage block, you know? What is Ogre Magi's armor though? Oh, and he even has high armor, yeah. Ogre Magi is a very good melee support. He's like a very tanky boy, very tanky. As they say, tanky boy, tanky boy. Okay. But I'm gonna lump him in with the other tanks. I'll put him right next to Ogre Magi. He will be rated later with the tanks. Silencer. I mean, this is very much, the hero model is very much related to the ability. This is like people usually draft Gyrocopter second pick to right after Flak to like get the talents. You should draft this right after getting Glaives, just to get the Brain Drain. Like Brain Drain is it's a good innate. It's like genuinely worth drafting the hero model to get this innate. But otherwise, it's like he's really squishy, he's slow. These are not good qualities. Good attack range though. But it's I would say it could be worth it for the Brain Drain. This is very much like get Glaives and then get Silencer afterward, and then just try to find attack speed in the draft. Try to find shit that supports Glaives, because these don't, right? These don't. But I mean, you could also just pick him to get play a caster. That could also work too. You could just pick Silencer, and then you could do that for the sake of just playing him as a caster, and that's okay. And I'll rate them. I'll rate them alongside all the other casters in the caster category, perhaps later on. But he does have that unique quality of like wanting to be drafted with the Glaives to get the Brain Drain. You get 20 attack speed on 10 to make up for your bad agi. That make it up for it a little bit. Glaives of Wisdom, Int Steel duration 40 seconds. What the fuck? 75, so you drain them for 75 seconds. Wow. Yeah, but look at these talents. 20 attack speed, duration, damage. I don't know if those are 20 and 25s though. Like how... I guess they could, but the main thing is Brain Drain. The main thing is Brain Drain. And there's a shard isn't there a shard attached to it? Yep. So, very much get the Glaives, get Silencer. Sort of thing. I don't know if you want to second pick him. You might want to get Glaives, then the attack speed modifier, and then you lock it in and get a Silencer, presuming they don't take it from you. Which they usually probably won't. They usually probably won't try to take that away. And if they do, you can just look for another int hero model. Like you're okay looking for an int hero model. But this is good. Like when you can get that Glaive of Wisdom juice, because you have good attack range. You just got to make up for the attack speed, and then Glaives fucking hurt, and if you can get mobility and defensives, you can make up for this stuff. Like look at this. I think it was this Drow game. Like look at this Skywrath mage. You got Glaives on the Skywrath mage with Little Shredder, and he just owned. He just fucking owned with it. Like you will dominate the lane with it. Like you just dominate the lane with this. Glaive's little shredder, and then just get any hero works. But Scarlet Mage was particularly well because he had this. Here's a really good innate. This is a really fucking good innate. You can make a fucking tank spell build out of this. This is cool. This is a very cool innate, and that is a lot of spell lifesteal. Because look how much Bloodstone does. What, 80%? You get half of a Bloodstone all the time. So, yeah, very good. Alright. So I'm just going to put him up here with the other casters, though. I like how these are all three next to each other, because they... Yeah, okay, Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon's very cut and dry, and I think it probably belongs in... Let's presume you get the illusion abilities. You get like... Okay, where did I put CK? Well, where's Terrorblade? He's not melee, but I'll put him next to... Maybe there needs to be like a very niche illusion category. Where is CK? The thing is, CK doesn't need it, but he does. Shadow Demon does. Like, if you want to use this, the innate's really good. You pick this and you get another +1 illusion ability, and it's really powerful. Menace is a menace. Yeah, I mean, this is a good innate, but you need more illusion abilities. You need like a +1, that's it, and you're good to go. You just need a +1. One's already provided in the draft for you, and that's Disruption. But the thing that sucks about Disruption is having to either buy a Mantis style or having to press it on your real hero, and then you banish your real hero, and it can be bad. Like, banishes in Dota 2 they're very contextual, right? Like, they can hurt you or they can not hurt you, because they're very like neutral in that sense, where it's really like the thing that makes it, because you lose damage, but you also lose the ability to be damaged. It's like an equal thing, right? And then it becomes contextually dependent on whether that's a net positive or a net negative, if that makes sense, right? I think I explained that well enough. So you hate doing that on your main hero, right? So if you can get an extra illusion ability and not have to build Manta style to do this, you want to press this. You want to press this on your other illusions. You don't want to press this on the main hero, because because the value of the banish itself could outweigh getting the spawned illusions, and so you fix that by being able to press this on an illusion, right? So get Shadow Demon, get at least +1 illusion thing in the draft, and try to get all three. Hopefully the enemy doesn't deny pick you, and then it'll be good. And so I think this just belongs in D, because that's, if the enemy's smart, they'll see that. They'll probably try to take it away from you if they know about it. But if there's like a copious amount, of illusion stuff, I suppose, but that's like D tier then. Because like, how often does that happen? There's not a lot of illusion stuff in the game to start with. But yeah, very good. Get illusions. Kill people with the illusions on the hero model. I've had drafts where I've had it happen because people don't know about the innate, and it was cool. It was fun. But you can't expect competent players to... I'm trying to assess this based on, against competent players. I'm not gonna include a fucking 4 or 5 part combo and how the hero model relates to that, and then give you guys the expectation that you need to play against incompetent players for it to work. No, so that would just belong in D. That's a solid D, and it's not D in the sense that it's, because here's the thing, like, these other heroes are pretty. They're somewhat. I guess, yeah. Abaddon's worse than all of them. Abaddon's worse than these two, because these two can actually. I don't know. No, maybe Abaddon's better, because he has what he needs is contained within the spells that come with him. This is not the case for PA and Brood, right? Or no, actually it is. It is the case for Brood. But that is not the case for PA. So actually PA is the worst. I thought Abaddon was the worst. No, it's PA. PA is the worst. But like, Shadow Demon's not bad. Like, look at his starting HP. It's pretty good. His strength gain's good too. He's like tanky. He's quite tanky. He's a bit on the slower side, but he's tanky. Look at his model. He's tanky. You can just use him as a if you're not gonna, you can just use him as a caster. If you're not gonna do this innate build, you can use him as a caster. Oh yeah. His facet comes with him. Okay, I think he actually belongs in C then. He belongs in C. He belongs in C because I just did like a cringy little singy thing. I don't like when people do that, but I just did that. Sorry, guys. Oh, okay. I'm actually putting him in C then. Because you can just use him as a caster. You don't have to use this innate. I was thinking of him on the angle that you have to use the innate. You don't. And let me see Shadow Poison. You get 10 and 15 Shadow Poison. Oh, look at that. 10 strength, 25 movement speed. Okay, this hero is definitely good. This hero is definitely good. Because look at these talents. They can make up for like a little bit of... They can shore up the weaknesses a bit. And then you get to keep the int gain. This is like a solid caster hero model. Attack range is okay. You know, you can just click people regularly in the lane. You don't have to have illusions. You can click them regularly in the lane and apply your menace. Yeah, in fact, this is good. This is a solid C. In the facet's good. I don't think it belongs in B. I don't think it belongs in B because like that'll be contingent upon using the innate, and that's just not frequent enough. But I think this is a solid C. You got some good Shadow Poison talents. You can go ahead and get them. I don't know. Yeah, you can get them. You can get them. Shadow Poison is okay. Get Shadow Poison if you want to do like a caster build. That comes built in. You got good talents for that. You have a facet that is always attached to the hero model and it's always relevant. So it's good for that. Excuse me. This is solid C. I don't think. Nothing is giving off the idea to me that it should be pushed up into B though. It's a solid C. But the problem is you have to like compare them relative to casters then. Like I don't know if I'm ultimately gonna settle on this A, B, C, D, F tier, or if I'm going to like rate them across the categories. I don't know. Maybe I'll make it like two-dimensional, where they will be rated on A, B, C, D, and F tiers, and then they will also be put into ranged, caster, and tank categories on top of that, to some degree, right? So you'll have to like, it'll be like a 2D plot. I think it's actually gonna be a 2D plot, which is weird, but I'll see how it goes. I think this tier, this A, B, C, D, F tier is orienting me though, towards like I think it's definitely orienting me because it's giving just me a general thoughts. So yeah, it's like we're gonna do like 2, 3, maybe 4, 2 to 4 passes of sorting. I mean, we're already going through the first one, so maybe 5, technically 3 to 5. Gyro. I wanted to talk about Gyro earlier, right? I think it's just a C. It's just a C. I think that's because I think you can definitely, there's some cool juice on that innate. But I have to experiment to really know. But otherwise, it's like, you know, good armor, pretty okay starting HP, good agi gain, okay strength gain, you know. The end game's not bad either. It's actually, he's got good across the board stats. These are all like pretty okay across the board stats. And that's, you know, that's obviously because he's so short range that they need to give him enough HP to like sit in the middle of it. And then they also needed to give him enough int to let him cast his spells. And then they wanted to give him enough agi to make him a right click build. So he actually has a lot of good things going for him. This innate, I think you can use it as a spell build. Good serviceable int. Strength gain's not too bad. Good armor. Agi is good. I can see it's at the lower tier of attack ranges, obviously. But I can see you just using this for a right-click model. Just don't care about base damage too much, because the base damage is pretty dang bad. It's pretty dang bad. So just don't worry about that, and you're left with a lot of good stuff. I think this is like a C. I think this is a C then. This is a C. Marcy. Special delivery. Give all the couriers HP. And you have instant summon courier. That's cool. Starting HP is pretty okay. Armor's on the low side, but that happens with these sort of style of. She used to be strength. But then they... Did she used to be strength? Or was this before or after Universal's got introduced? I think this was after, so she's always been in a Universal. She's never been like a strength. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. But anyways, that's sort of the archetype she's fitting. She's like excels in strength, and then the rest are a bit lower. Let's see. And that usually tends to match up with the armor, because if your ag is low, then your armor is low. A bit low on the lower side. Like rather than being a 4, it's a 3, because you have less ag. Moon speed's on the good side. Bodyguard, rebound, unleash. These are all attached to the abilities. This is like a solid C. This is a solid C. What about her talents? A lot of the new heroes don't have generic talent trees. Like, they all relate to the abilities. And I think in an ideal world, the devs want to make talents that all relate to the abilities. I don't think they really care about bouncing the game around 80. Yeah. The weird thing I've thought of... Have you guys ever thought about this? This is some fucking chat GPT shit, maybe. Why did they make Keen Conveyance? Why did they make the cooldown lower? Because this ability doesn't exist in AD. So what does this do? It does literally nothing because you just refresh it. Changes. Why? What does this do? Maybe if this ability existed in AD, this would make sense. Because then you can't... Maybe if you could... No, but Keen Conveyance is attached to... It would be attached to rearm, right? It's like, what does this do? I don't know. In some world where you attach Keen Conveyance to the hero model, I guess you can... I don't know. I wish they had, like... I wish Valve... And I guess this applies to everything Valve does. I wish they hired more people. They hired more developers. Or, I guess they live in Flatland. Valve lives in Flatland. They let the developers do whatever the fuck they want. For the most part, I think. I don't know if they've changed. This is just from... I've read this in their new player... Or, not new player. Their new hire employee handbook. They live in Flatland. But I don't know. Maybe that's not the case anymore. Maybe they sort of nudge you. Hey, you need to work on this project. We're all doing a big project. You all need to come. Like, you can't just do whatever you want. That used to be what they... Like, you would just do whatever you want. Just apply your skills where you find them to be the most useful. That used to be their... That used to be how their company operated. But I don't know if they do that anymore nowadays as much. They probably still do, but just not as much. So, I wish they had just someone dedicated to working on AD. That would be cool. Because then they could sort out the whole, like, D and F key slot conundrum. Maybe they should just have the D and E... I don't know. Because Dota 2 technically supports the capability for, like, fucking, like, 20. For, like, 20 abilities to be on your hotbar. That's really cool. And that's really cool to me that they support this functionality. You can just have 20 abilities sitting in your hotbar. You can look it up. I think there's a Bommy and Cats video where he plays with literally like 12 abilities, and they all, like, he assigns hotkeys to them. I don't know how they could maybe they could get that to work, you know. But then it would. I guess it would be weird. It would be too weird. You guys know Twitch? You guys know Twitch emotes? Be right back. I'm gonna get another drink. Just got water this time. No drink, just water, regular water. Okay, so we just rated Marcy. Yeah, I think she belongs in... She's a seer. She's a C. Luna. Luna is very interesting because I don't consider this a ranged hero. Not really. This is a melee hero to me because it's too fucking low. You look at this. You're basically like you're nearing on the edge of just being a melee hero with alert, with the alert buff, right? Oh, it starts. You start getting it at tier 4. Okay, so alert starts giving attack range on tier 4. Oh wait, no. What about Vast? Oh, Vast. Oh, Vast is a tier 2 exclusive. Okay, so it sort of gets combined into alert to make room for like tier 4 and tier 5 exclusives. Oh, okay. I see how this works now. Like Vast combines into alert. I see. That's cool. I never noticed that, but I should have. But yeah, I mean, you're like you can think of like a melee hero getting Vast or alert or whatever, and then you're Luna. I understand melee heroes can't buy Dragonlance and Luna can, but you buy Dragonlance and then you go up to what? 140 plus 330? You go up to 470. So is that big actually? 470. You go from the thing is like look at other heroes who buy Dragonlance. Where do they go to? If a hero who is at 400 buys this and they go to 540, that feels way better than a 470, right? Like that, the difference between being like at 330 and being at 400 is that like it matters. That's what I meant to convey. It's like even if you're buying Dragonlance to make up for her poor attack range, it's just I don't know. I feel like I should rate her high because, but you just shouldn't treat her as a ranged hero is the thing. Like she definitely still belongs in B. But I think there would be some people that would go like, oh, but she belongs in A because she's like, isn't she almost like SF? She has Lunar Blessing, right? Lunar Blessing. Bonus night vision. You get global attack damage bonuses at night. If it's daytime, then it's just a radius around her. And then she doubles it at night. So if like if she's level 11, she has 22 extra bonus damage, right, at nighttime. And then she's giving 11 damage globally to everyone else. That's actually a pretty darn weak aura. That's not that crazy. That is not that crazy of an aura. Like you can imagine being at level, it's just not a lot. It's not a lot. It's not as much as Shadow Fiend for sure. So she's not on the level with Shadow Fiend. But like her movement speed's good. That's better than Shadow Fiend. Her attack range is bad. I just don't treat her as a ranged. Not really. She's a melee. She buys Dragonlance to make herself like a mid melee, a mid tier melee. Other heroes who buy Dragonlance, even if they're sitting, even if it's like Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit has 400, but she buys Dragonlance and then she's sitting at 540. Which is way better than 470 because that 70 attack range it makes a difference. Because it's half of a Dragonlance, right? So when she buys a Dragonlance, you can kind of think of it as her buying half of a Dragonlance. Which is, it's just not as good. She quite literally buys half of a Dragonlance. Because Dragonlance gives 140. She's down 70 from the... I consider this, and this is still a 1-star. This is a 1-star attack range. This is bad. This is still pretty bad. But at least if she, like, Vengeful Spirit buys a Dragonlance, like, it becomes good. 540 is good. Buy it on Luna, you don't get that. It's like, how would I compare Vengeful Spirit to Luna? Vengeful Spirit's better. Like, Vengeful Spirit's better. You buy a Manta Style, and they kill your Manta Style, and you get Retribution bonuses on them. That's cool. 20% bonus damage is fucking crazy. Whereas Lunar Blessing is not, it's not that good. It's whatever. It's like a flat, like, yes, you're helping other teammates. But like, Yeah, I'm picking Vengeful Spirit over Luna a lot of the time. And then there's even Soul Strike attached to this, and it lowers your base attack time. So 100% actually, I'm picking this over Luna. Look at that facet too. I'm picking this over Luna. Vengeful Spirit's better than Luna. And I know her win rates are high on WinRun IO, but like, I don't, like, whatever. I don't care about that data. I don't care. Let's look at WinRun IO again, actually. go by abilities overall. Let's sort by win rates. And Luna's here. Where's Vengeful Spirit? Where is Vengeful Spirit? How is she at 48% win rate, bro? How is she at 40% but Luna is at like way higher? Does it have to do with the talents? I don't know. I like Vengeful Spirit's clearly better to me, but the win rates, I guess they're opposed to that. Let's put her in B anyways though, cause she's okay. Vengeful Spirit belong. Does she actually belong in A? Does Vengeful Spirit belong? I don't think so. I think if her 400 attack range limits her from being an A, but she's quite good, and this Soul Strike facet's good too. 1.5 base attack time. With Soul Strike, what does she become then? Like she can also buy a Basher. That's cool, but the main thing is that you just have base attack time reductions. Should Lifestealer even belong in A also? Maybe I need to rethink putting him in A. Because maybe he just doesn't belong in A. But like Flesh Feast, dude. Flesh Feast and the Feast on top of it. I guess, yeah, okay, so maybe if I'm putting Lifestealer in A, Vengeful Spirit should go in A. Because she has Retribution, Manta Style, and then she also has the Soul Strike, which gives her a base attack time reduction. Base attack time, yeah, base attack time reduction. And then yeah, she's her range is poor, but like you can improve it if you want to. 400 is still it's like on the low end, but it's still something I would consider a ranged hero, whereas I don't consider Luna a ranged hero. Not really, not really. You're like a Monkey King that can buy a Dragonlance. If Monkey King could buy a Dragonlance, would you consider him ranged? Not really, no. And they're very fucking close to each other. They're 30 range off. If Monkey King could buy a Dragonlance, I'm not considering him a ranged hero at that point still. Vengeful Spirit belongs in A then. I think she does. She just does. Like Retribution is good. Soul Strike is good. 1.5 base attack time and 20% more damage. That's kind of an ability worth drafting, is it not? Like if you can think of an ability and it gave you 400 attack range, like if it gave you attack range that made you go from 150, let's say you're melee, you go with a 400 attack range and you get 20% bonus damage, and you get 1.5 base attack time. I'm picking that. That's an ability worth picking. It might even be comparable to Metamorphosis. Like look at Metamorphosis. I know, understand, Metamorphosis does more. And it's a cooldown and it's a transformation, yada yada, but it gives you attack range bonuses. It gives you a base attack time reduction. And then, of course, it gives you the bonus damage. That's because it's an ability that is, it's an actual ability. It's not just something that's attached to a hero model. But you get my point, right? Like drafting Vengeful Spirit gives you elements of meta, and meta is an ability we're drafting. So, I'm putting Venge in A. Excuse me. Faceless Void. You become past tense. Distortion Field. I don't know how good this is. How good is this? I mean, it's obviously meant to interact with Time Walk, where you can group up a bunch of projectiles that are slow moving, and maybe you can get hit by them, and then you can Time Walk out of them. Delay the damage so that they all happen or occur inside one moment, right? That's the idea behind this innate. But otherwise, the innate's pretty fucking... It just doesn't do anything. It's like, it's just not important a lot of the time. These belong. You actually, the way in AD is you get one or the other. You don't. There's no attached facet for it, which is cool, I guess. That you don't have to draft a facet for it. I feel like that's just because the AD people couldn't code this in properly. They should have just done this. They should have just coded this in. Like, give Chronosphere as the ability to be draft, and then you can swap it inside the draft with the facet. I don't know why. I don't know why they were incapable of doing this. I mean, you're able to do it in a regular game. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Maybe I don't know about the coding. aspect of Dota 2. But I feel like if you're Valve is has shown so much competence that it's sort of expected of them. Like, why wouldn't you be able to do that? Have that be a thing where you can, I don't know. I guess it makes sense for balancing purposes not to have a fucking facet just so you could have an ability. Cause like okay that makes actually okay I'm wondering that actually makes sense. Cause like why like imagine drafting it and then not picking either of the facets. Then what ability do you have? I guess it'll just have to default to something, right? But the same thing sort of happens to Morphling. The same thing happens to fucking Morphling. Like, look. Like, Morphling's primary attribute is now agility. That didn't need to be stated, right? He's agility by default. And if you don't pick Ebb in the draft when you have Morphling, he's still agility, right? That doesn't so like I don't know. Maybe they should just have defaults for these things as they do for Morphling. Like he's agility by default. You can make it strength by picking this facet, but if you don't pick Ebb, then it's just it defaults to agility. Anyways, I forgot what I was talking. Okay, yeah, we were gonna assess this hero model. It's very much. This is like a fucking like middle of the pack C tier melee right clicker. I'm gonna judge him alongside the other melee right clickers later. What about Ricky? At least he gets backstab, and he also gets contract killer attached to it, huh? Oh yeah, he gets contract killer attached to his model too. That could matter for like a support, but his int gain's terrible, so you need your abilities to be pretty damn cheap. Yeah, you need them to be pretty damn cheap. You don't want to be pressing spells as a support, really, on Ricky hero model. But you can just get this as a core. Get this as a core. Backstab people still. Because like backstab still, you just get an agi damage multiplier. He deals bonus damage based on his agility. So you deal 1.6 of your agility when you backstab. I don't understand how I'm supposed to read this exactly. But if you draft the model, I'm pretty sure you get contract killer attached to it, and then you just get extra EXP. It's free extra EXP. Why not? Nice. Okay, but does he make up for it in the other areas? Not really. His agi gain's bad, but that's obviously to balance the hero. His strength gain's bad. His level 1 HP is bad. His int is bad. His armor's good though. His armor's good because his starting agi is high. His movement speed's pretty good. Okay. His damage is, mid. Maybe a little bit below average because he does rely on backstab. Let's look at these talents. Backstab multiplier in 20. The problem with backstabbing on Ricky is these abilities, they have to be running away from you. If they're not running away from you, the Blink Strike and Trink of the Trades, like if they're man fighting, this is basically get bonus damage when the enemy fears you or wants to run away from you. If they man fight you and they look at you, you lose that bonus. So it's sort of like a win more thing. And the only way you prevent that from being a win more thing is using Blink Strike and Trick to the Trade. These are guaranteed backstab procs, right? And so the idea with that is there a world where you get Tricks of the Trade and then you draft Ricky afterwards? Yes there is. Yes there is. But I mean the thing is if you're getting this agi bonus, like you're okay to get it on any agi hero. It doesn't need to be Ricky. Tricks to Trade's a really good ability though. It's a pretty damn good ability. I would put it up. I don't know how would I rate it relative to Swashbuckle. I wonder, because Swashbuckle is also 12 seconds. I think it actually has the exact same cooldown as Swashbuckle. You also attack. It used to attack 4, but you attack 3 nowadays. And you have a. Yeah, you take an attack damage bonus from it too. Let's see, you get an agi bonus. And if you take 40% of 100, that means you're dealing an extra 40 damage inside Tricks of the Trade. And then you also got to consider that you're backstabbing. It's a lot of damage when you Tricks of the Trade and backstab. It's quite a bit of damage. It's what defines this character's like damage. Is pressing Tricks of the Trade, right? and dealing quite a bit of damage. And you also have a scepter attached to it. Alright, Blink Strike is a good ability too. Blink Strike is a good ability, and it synergizes. This is like a... I would say this is like a League of Legends hero in this respect, where you have abilities that synergize very closely with each other. This backstab very much it synergizes with Blink Strike and Tricks of the Trade. It's very, like, this is what you do the hero for. Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger, it's for spell builds, though. I think a lot of people, yeah, they just do spell builds with this instead. I don't know how I'd rate him, because it's like, it's very conditional on these abilities, but then you have to also, it's like Abaddon. Like, the abilities exist on the hero. When he comes into the draft, his abilities are in the draft too. Like, if the hero's in the draft, the abilities in the draft, so. This is a pattern that shows up a bit. It shows up a bit. I think Spirit Breaker is another one, but I think Spirit Breaker can be rated independently, just on his base stats too. But like, let's think about, like, I guess this is how we define the D. Define the D. D is defined by, if you don't, let's say you don't get your Blink or Tricks of the Trade. What then? What then? Are you drafting this? Are you drafting this then still over a majority of other heroes? Answer, no, because the backstab's not enough. There's not enough good talents that are standalone. Your strength gain's too bad. Your agility's bad. Your stat gains are just bad across the board. Okay, armor, nothing stands out though. This is definition of D. Alchemist, do I need to explain anything? That goes in A. Grievous Greed's amazing. It's an entire ability, and you used to have to level skill points in it, but this is an incredibly powerful innate. This is an A. It's almost worth first picking. And you also get facets on top of that. You also get facets. You get seed money, or you get dividends attached to the hero model. I don't know. This is a little bit crazy of a thing, but like, honestly, if you can farm like a fucking motherfucker, if you can farm up a fucking storm, then why not get this? You know, why not get this and just get like, I don't know, just get like 70 GPM. This is, I don't know, man. This is like stupid. I don't. Who picks dividends? I don't know when you would pick this. I don't know. Like, wouldn't you in regular Dota? Wouldn't you just want mixologists? I don't know what. Maybe if they made it like, oh, you get like 10 more. This is for supports though, I guess, is the thing. It's meant to give you like it's supposed to give you a return for gifting a teammate, and then the GPM matters more on like a support alchemist. I don't know. Dividends is... I guess it's sort of that thing where, like, okay, if you don't have any other facets, go ahead and get dividends then. Just get it. Because maybe the 250 gold doesn't matter as much in some scenarios. But, like, a lot of the times you're just going to get seed money. Either way, it's an A. We don't need to talk any more about it. That's an A. And we'll go over that in the video when I publish it. Untargetable. Let's go ahead and demo this. I want to see Tricks of the Trade. Untargetable. Untargetable is a... Like, what if you press use on yourself also? Let's see. No, because you are targetable inside Yules. You are targetable inside Yules, so that doesn't count. Okay, let's get Tricks of the Trade then. Dota, create, ability, Tricks of the Trade. Yep, you can see I got the bonuses. You see how my regen went up inside there? And my mana? Okay, but this tech is technically not untargetable. You are targetable, but you are invulnerable. It's a weird thing. And usually invulnerable also means it's supposed to mean untargetable for a lot of abilities, but it's not necessarily, right? Not necessarily, so that's the little thing, caveat. I don't know how you say it. That's a little caveat there. Okay. So the innate, I mean, this is like, would they put this up there with Warlock? Not because of the innate, but because, okay, how valuable is this base attack time? How valuable is ranged in 1.5 with 475 attack speed, that's pretty okay. Like 500 is middle of the pack. 500 is middle of the pack. It's a little bit below 500, but that's okay. You can work with it. 1.5 base attack time, and it's ranged. Strength gain sucks, though. Agi gain sucks. But hey, you get some intelligence, so if you want to do some casting, cast away. But the main thing why I would ever want to... I guess just because it's an okay caster, I'm going to lump her in with the caster, but you can... When you think of Dark Willow, you usually just get like... You get this because you want the Shadow Realm also. It's actually quite important if you want to do a Shadow Realm build. Because that 1.5 extra Shadow Realm duration is pretty big. Oh, wait, did they nerf... I think they, like, reworked some of this. Okay, never... let me see. Let's leak talents. Oh, there used to be a Shadow Realm cooldown talent. Drafting Dark Willow might not be as good then. I don't know. Because they nerfed that. Usually you would have to combine the 10 and the 20. And then you would have a lot of uptime. But now that the 10 is gone, the 10 cooldown reduction, like what do you... It's just hard. It's way harder to loop. You would get like Octarine Core, the 10 talent, 20, and you would have a really good uptime on this. Anyways, I've made Willow work before. I don't know if it really felt particularly good because like she was lacking in a lot of stuff. She was lacking in HP and Agi gain, and I had to... It sucks to lack both. It sucks to lack both. Yes, it will pay off eventually because you have 1.5 base attack time and you'll pay it off. I guess this is sort of like if she didn't have good int, she would be a D for sure. But I think just because she's good enough as a caster, she's C. And this is the problem with tiering systems in this ABCDF fashion is that they fail to capture this sort of nuance, which is why I was thinking of somehow plotting it in a 2D 2D thingy, where we're also rating it across the categories. And I don't know how I'm gonna make that look. I'll figure it out, but I'll figure it out. Okay, here's my Willow game. I think it was right here. Was that a loss? What game was this? Is this the one where I had flat cannon? Oh, I remember this game. Yeah, my teammates fucking sucked in that game. I hate solo queue. That was a solo queue game. I think it was before that. I remember I had flat cannon. And it was also a solo queue game, the one with flat cannon. I still didn't like that. Like, guys, even if I win, that doesn't make the game enjoyable. Winning doesn't necessarily make the game enjoyable. For most people, they'll feel that way. But when you've won, when you've played like the video game as much as I have, the wins stop mattering unless they mean something. I don't just, I don't care if a win is a win. I don't care about the win itself because that doesn't mean, what does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. Beyond just the social aspect of saying I owned you. Whatever, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about that. That doesn't really matter to me. Like, imagine if I get in a competition of eating shit, right? Of eating poo-poo, of eating feces. And then I win against someone. Oh, I won. Who cares? It's a shit-eating contest. Who gives a fuck that you won? Right? So, I think we're going a bit too far back. Where's my Willow game? I'm looking for the Willow game. Dark Willow. Where's Dark Willow? Where's Dark Willow? There it is. Yep, flat cannon. And you can see I made up for the squishiness with Death Pact. And her movement speed is a bit on the lower side, so I also made up the mobility. So I mean, this is just like a classic sort of, I'm drafting this hero model. It's sort of like, imagine if I was Silencer in this case also, right? Like Silencer has issues with movement speed and HP. And then I made up for them with Death Pack and Hunter in the Night. And then what are you left with? You're left with some pretty good stuff. In Dark Willow's case, you're left with attack range. I mean, and also in a Silencer's case. But you're also left with 1.5 base attack time, which is on the very good side. And then for Silencer, you're left with the brain drain. You get some brain drain, you get a good shard, which will increase the brain drain. So you're left with those things. And that's presuming you can make up for the mobility and defensives, right? But if that's not offered in the hero model and you have to make up for it, that's fucking up your optionality for your abilities, right? Like a lot of the times you'll want that to be provided in the hero model already, so you can look towards greener pastures, if that makes sense. And so feeling like you have to make up for that sucks. So Dark Willow, I mean, she's still good as a caster. So I would have to put that in the caster tier. I'm not rating casters yet. Casters are hard to rate with the ABCDF model because, yeah, I pretty much have no casters in here, do I? I have no spellcasters. Not really. I guess Warlock. And I feel comfortable in doing that because he has Eldritch Summoning. Should Warlock go in A though? Like, how easy is it to proc this? If you're not procking it, I should just put him in with the other casters, right? But oh man, if you can get this to work, it's seriously, it's fucking incredible. Golems are nice. But I can only think of like how easy, I really wonder how easy is that? There's globe, and if it's not global, it's okay. Like, because even Tombstone is good. Tombstone, you got global stuff with webs, and you can plop down the webs with the facet. Webs, what else? Howl at nighttime. You can use Howl. Maybe it could just be like a really long duration debuff, and I don't know what the longest duration debuffs are, but maybe you can just do that, like poison attack. Plop down a poison attack on, and then, you know, use the golems through that, and it's cheap. Like the price you have to pay to apply the golems to get, you know, the effect is cheap. So like that's why it's good. Poison, is it called Shadow Poison? Whoops. Yeah, Shadow Poison. Pay a cheap cost just to, you know, get the golems to work. So with an innate that valuable, I just feel like putting it in B. What else though? What else? Maybe it is too specific. Maybe it is too specific. What else for the golems? Has to be a long duration. Has to be maybe a cheap mana thing. It might be too specific. It might. It very well might be. It could even be like, is there anything that's passive and persistent implies a status effect? How often does that occur in Dota 2? I'm just looking over some heroes right now and trying to find some. Just trying to find some. I might be overvaluing Warlock then. I'm gonna lump him in with the other casters and think about it later. This might just be too like hype beast shit. I'm just thinking that it's too hype beast. It's actually not that often. It doesn't pop up often. So I might be overvaluing Warlock's stuff. And this is why I have the categories, because I don't know how to rate. I don't know how to rate casters. That's why like if it was just between tanking and right clicking, I would. It's very easy to make an ABCDF. But when you take spell casting into the equation, it's like, you know, sometimes people just gotta cast spells in the Dota 2 game. And you can't really. Sometimes people just gotta cast spells, you know? And sometimes you have to pay a price for that. In strength and agility. And that's okay. You just need to have mana. Sometimes that's all you want out of a hero model. Just get as much int, because that's the defining feature of Dota 2 ability draft, right? You just the spells. There's quite, and a lot of spells require mana. There's a lot of spells, so just being able to cast it more that's an important quality. And I can't compare that well against tanking or right clicking. I just can't. It's not that hard. It's not that easy to do. And maybe I may be overvaluing tank. No, I don't think I am, because it's hard to buy tankiness. It's legitimately hard to buy, and you don't want to have to just buy items that make you tanky. Those are hard to find, and that's probably intentional, because tanking up in Dota 2 is it's the reason why Radiance doesn't have tank stuff on it. You go look at League of Legends, it does, and that item is too good. It's definitely been too good it's sort of just the go-to, because who doesn't want Sunfire Cape, right? League of Legends has Sunfire Cape, and they put tank stats on a Radiance, and that's too perfect, right? Because who would not want that? I remember there was a meta in League of Legends actually where heroes who were just not tanks were getting it. People were picking a Kali or Katarina in the top lane, and anyone could be turned into a tank. So it's actually quite intentional that it's hard to be tanky in Dota 2. And whereas if it was easy, then you would get the League of Legends problem, right? In League, like I already mentioned it, in League of Legends there was this fucking stupid Sunfire Cape meta, and they had to do something about it. They had to do something about it because Sunfire Cape was just too generally good. This is just how movement speed and tankiness work as stats. They apply to everyone, and they can be generally used by everyone. So, and you don't want that, because that fucks up identity, right? That fucks up identity. So, itemization towards being tanky, it's low. Most of the time, it's provided through BKB. League of Legends had its Sunfire Cape thing, Dota 2 has its BKB thing forever. So BKB has just always been very good, and that's how you get it. And there's a lot of magic damage in the game and a lot of control spells, and that's usually how people die. And and we've sort of just accepted it, right, as a community, Dota 2, that BKB should be purchased as often as it is, and it's very identitative towards being tanky in Dota 2. And a good thing is that it's not persistent; it has a duration. You want something that's persistent and doesn't have a duration, get Heart. In the past, it didn't even work like this. You had to be out of combat for Heart to work. So they even had that in mind before they went and. So this is the problem with Heart of Tarask, right? So okay, now I'm starting to realize. You look back on League of Legends, Sunfire Cape meta. Dota 2 has its tank problems too, and that's because they've made Heart of Tarask persistent. They shouldn't have done this, maybe, because this is the path that we've gone down, and maybe it mostly had to do with Blade Mail. Now that they've nerfed Blade Mail, because the whole interaction was buying Heart back when it had a Vitality booster and it gave you 1,000 HP. Nowadays it gives you. Scotty's just too close to it, so Scotty's way better, and that makes Heart of Tarask's identity suck. Because this used to have a Vitality booster, it used to get a ton of HP. It's just you don't get that now. You don't get that. You actually lose HP. Look at this. You trade the 12 for, you lose it. At least let me keep the 12 I get from Ring of Tarask. Let me keep the 12 HP regen. You lose it when you upgrade. That sucks. They need to buff this item. Especially after they nerfed the Blade Mail. Because that was the whole thing, is that right clickers who were squishy enough didn't want to hit you. Because you had a persistent Blade Mail and a persistent max HP regen, and it was hard to click into people with this combo. And that was a problem, right? That was a problem. I don't know if it was exactly ruining the Dota 2 identities, because the way Dota 2 works, it's way cooler. A lot of the identities are actually determined by, and actually League of Legends is the same way. The item shop defines metas way more than the actual abilities. You'll come to find this, honestly, and there's a little bit of nuance to that. It's not always true. It's hard to generalize and capture this sort of shit, because it's equal parts in a lot of sense. But for the most part, items dominate the reason why, because you gotta, we can imagine a hypothetical, and this is a cool hypothetical I suggest you guys entertain. Try to think about it. Imagine a lobby with like, let's say level 30 heroes. They're all level 30. They have maxed out a bit. Okay, talents. Okay, how about we do this? Put them to level 30. No talents though. They can't touch their talents. They can be OP. Don't touch their talents. They leveled up all their abilities. They're maxed out on their abilities. And then put them against a bunch of level ones, right? Level ones with just items. And I don't know what heroes those would exactly be. You might want to just pick like, I don't know, whatever would fit. But you'd say you get to pick the hero model. I don't know what that would be. Maybe a bunch of Nyx Assassins and Banes. Those are sort of the John Dotas in terms of stat gains in hero model bases for Dota 2. Pick that and then 6 slot them. Who wins, right? Who wins? Level 1s with 6 slots of items or level 30s with abilities? Wait, let me think about this. Is that even a good comparison? I think it might be. Or okay, no. Okay. Actually, let me rethink that. They're the same. They have the same like stat gains, and like the heroes with items aren't level 1. They still get to utilize stat gains from their hero model or whatever, but they don't get to level their abilities, right? They don't get to level their abilities. So what's better, 6 slots of items, or 4, 8, 12, 15 ability points put into their 3 basic abilities and an ultimate, or 6 item slots. The 6 item slots win. They're just higher power overall. Items are higher power overall, and they win games. They attribute to the winning of a game more so than abilities. It's just a matter of fact, right? And I guess we're not even considering Ag Scepter, right? That's not included. Ag Scepter is a bit of a weird thing because it's an item that buys you an ability, sort of. But like, what is an ability? What does that mean? Like, it's just Dagon is kind of an ability. What if you put Dagon on an ability, right? Put that in an ability icon. Give it an ability icon and put it in your hero HUD. Like, what's the difference, right? These are sort of loose categorizations, whatever. They're defined by how the game works, right? Anyways. We've done one pass. We've already sorted like things that the to be sorted list. We've broadly categorized ranged, melee, right click, caster, and tank. I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm gonna go over this later again. Yeah. And then it's almost done. It's pretty much almost done. I'm gonna run a few select heroes who are hard to think about because they don't have much to offer in terms of facets, innates, or talents, and it's literally just a matter of looking at the stats. And then a lot of them are sitting in C right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and run them through my system model and calculate those out. But for the most part, it's been pretty easy to decide, like, oh, Spectre is an F. These are Ds. Maybe they're not even Ds, I don't know. The A's and B's are pretty settled. Like, they're pretty easy to, because, there's some facets or innates about them that make it easy for me to put them in A and B. But I'll run whoever is in C through the C thing. And yeah. I think I will just maybe I feel like it's easy for me to put ranged and tank into the A, B, C, D, F. It's just the casters. And that's because they're very contextually dependent on the abilities you draft in Dota 2, which can be so varied. So it's hard to compare those. But ranged and tank are easy to compare. Like what complements a tank style build or what complements a ranged build, right? Those are much easier to think about. Those are much more contingent on what the hero model is. Because like I said, it's hard to itemize it to be tanky. It's hard to itemize to be a right clicker. The model is very much model dependent. Whereas caster, it doesn't have a great demand. Just have some mana. That's it. Have some mana to press some spells. And then after that, it just depends on what the spells are. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to end the stream here. See you all later. Peace out. I made a little bit of progress today towards this hero model tier list. I'll see you guys later. Peace.